Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the UIdaho Esports Twitch channel. My name is Kaz. I'm joined here tonight by the Overlord, bringing you our casual
Good to see you guys again.
Tuesday Valorant games. If you are not already following the UIdaho Esports Twitch channel, please consider. It's free, and if you hate us or something, you can turn off our notifications so you never have to catch a stream. But if you do like the content that we're putting out, you can check out more of it. Usually posted on our Discord, !Discord in the chat. Just gonna pretend like that didn't happen.
Nothing happened.
Creepypasta!
Funny enough, I don't think production saw it.
But you can also check that out in our Discord server and other places that we exist on the internet, which should be also linked down below. Tonight we are bringing you a team all the way from Queens, New York, aptly named Queens College, versus our varsity team tonight. Starting a little bit behind because they wanted to move it behind, which I feel like only benefits us. We don't have that much time to lose. It's 9 p.m. for them right now, so
Might make them a wee bit tired, but I mean, look, if 1 hour is all we have to do to make this game happen, we'll take it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. They wanted to do that, so that is
Oh no, I
completely
just feared.
them. Okay. The
Do you
camera
guys
is
wanna
dead
get him
today
back?
now that my executive producer
Someone might want
is
to grab him
gone.
before he leaves the building.
So that guy on screen with the backwards hat is the man to blame as to what is going on. But you can see our varsity team here at the Rose, everyone except for David, game captain, who is not here. Diabolic, game cap. Dave is not here. Cheese and Loft Tech are here. Lofttech had work on the weekends and could not make it to our Big
Mr.
Sky
Head
Conference
Production, man.
Championships over the weekend. So, was unfortunate that we had to drop those games. But, you know, our main roster's back. We're looking way stronger,
We've had
I think.
incredible success thus far,
Maybe.
and we will only
We won
continue.
one game with our new roster, but that's one more, I think, than we had all season. We're 1-2 right now. Did you guys know that? 1-2 in the season all together.
They're pulling us up. They're watching the stream.
But yeah, you can also see one of our JV teams. I believe that's JV2, currently in the middle of one of their games because they
That
actually
is JV2.
started at 5 p.m. And slightly off cam, towards the right side, our JV1 team is playing their game as well. So some fun stuff going on in the basement of the Pittman Center tonight.
Lots of Valorant content.
Yes, Tuesdays are our Valorant days, so obviously everybody is going to be playing Valorant. There was a patch today, but nothing major. Actually, no, the map update I think is major enough. We
Could you
got
provide context for that?
so there were a mini map update where they just changed how some things are represented in a mini map, so things that are elevated are more clear. Just imagine looking at like
The topographical map.
actually, I was gonna say a Counter-Strike map, but that's not true. Because that's not always accurate either. Um, especially on Nuke. I remember when I first started playing Nuke, I could not tell how to tell apart A and B on the map. I still cannot. And really, I don't think anybody can. I just don't think that is a thing that you do in Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
But
because
I
definitely
digress.
definitely the Counter Strike players couldn't tell you the difference.
I think the I think like the biggest difference from all the other maps is probably just going to be Icebox, which they actually showed in the patch notes as like the example map. However, Icebox is not in the pool, and I don't think is going to be for a little bit. So, what a relevant example. But I think it's still nice that we're trying to increase the accessibility for newer players and stuff like that. There's also a big patch for my game today, Overwatch 2, where they added so much new stuff,
The perk
and I'm
system goes crazy.
very excited
I
to
just
try
wish
it out after work tonight.
I just wish they had put this level of effort in earlier within Overwatch 2's lifespan.
Yeah, but apparently what Aaron Keller, the lead developer, was talking about was, for a while, the Overwatch 2 team was very careful about taking big risks, uh, making big updates to base game as to not disrupt
The
the
ecosystem, quote unquote.
ecosystem of the game. Yeah. But now, Overwatch is faced with competition from
Marvel Rivals,
NetEase's Marvel
baby.
Rivals, and I think that is pushing the team to do a little bit more on
And I mean, the reception
anything.
for it has been quite popular for
Yes.
the perk system.
Um, there's also some other stuff going on this season. Loot boxes, which is I think my favorite part of Overwatch. I love Gamba.
Uh,
Um,
I thought that was
it's
illegal.
free Gamba. And no, it's only illegal in China. China
Fair
does
enough.
not let the children or anybody Gamba, I believe. Um, I'm not 21, so I can't go and really Gamba. But I can Gamba in my favorite video games, and this is why I play Cookie Run Kingdom. And also occasionally open
There, a
loot
little bit
boxes
better.
in CS from time to time. But I've gotten nothing but
You
garbage for
know, then
the
you
most
should have been
part.
here for the last stream last weekend with the $50 case rotation.
That's true. We opened a lot of cases during that. It was a fun time. We actually peaked viewers one time while we were opening cases.
I'm not surprised.
Not the gameplay itself, but when we were opening cases.
Everyone
That's
was like,
awesome.
get a knife, get a knife, get a knife, get a karambit. Come on.
Gold, 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 gold. Anyways, um, I don't know too much about how I feel tonight is gonna go. Again, it is like 9 p.m. in Queens right now,
They are going to
so
be tired
I would
as all get out.
imagine that these players are a little tired. I think they were hoping that they'd be a little bit into their set more
Mhm.
by this point, but
But we
Sometimes
make
things
do with what we
happen.
have, yeah.
We can't really control that. I will say though, server options are going to be kind of mid.
I think you're just gonna. I think it's gonna be central, and that's kind of the only option available.
Yeah, it's true.
Just
Something
what
like
you got to do when you're
Illinois
so far away. We're literally on the opposite ends of the country.
Texas servers. Then everybody suffers.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
You know, if that just happens, we could just not play Valorant. No offense, Texas. Servers there are awful.
Yeah, the Texas servers are not great, even if you're in Texas. So I've heard.
But from what I'm aware, the Vandals have a little bit of higher rank. They're roughly in the same situation in terms of score, from what I could determine.
Both
So
1-2 win-loss across the season so far. Yeah.
So if anything is going to get us back to our positive/even ratio, this will be the match, and then we can build up the momentum from, hey, we won last week, a win this week, move forward and crush the rest of the season.
You think optimistically, Overlord. You think very. Now, I'm not going to say
Look,
that
every time I don't think optimistically, you all guys say that I'm caster cursing. I should stop talking, and I ruin everything.
Well,
so I'm gonna just talk optimistically.
And if I talk optimistically, I do caster curse. I'm like, oh, and surely like we don't die here, and then we immediately.
See,
die.
that's not genuine support. That's sarcastic support.
No, it's not.
You're saying, yeah, surely
like,
this
no,
doesn't
and
happen here.
And most of the time, I say that
dummies.
completely genuinely. Like this is a team fight that looks like it's in our favor, right? And then someone gets like a 3K on an eco round.
It's because you said it's because you talked.
Exactly. So if I just say literally anything about anything at all, nothing works out. It's great. It's awesome how that works. If you've ever thought about going into professional esports casting, be prepared.
Never be specific with what you're talking about.
Be prepared to cast
if
curse
you
all
are,
of the time.
And last time I did that and manifested the map 2 like 8-5 split, everyone was so mad at me.
Look,
people were yelling at me for 3 days straight about that.
And a lot of people think that it doesn't happen to them.
Oh, it happens all the time.
A lot of people
all
think
the
that they
time.
can't caster curse, that it's not possible for them to do so. I hate to burst your bubble. It happens to everybody.
Watch the VODs.
And that's like a rite of passage for being a shoutcaster, right? You know, being able to like cast a game and be like, wow, that's gonna happen. And I'm 99% sure.
And then on that 1%.
And then that 1%, immediately proves you wrong. But yeah, we're kind of just waiting for things to get ready now. It seems like most of Queens are in the lobby. I don't know if map picks and bans have been done, but we're hovering on Pearl right now. So Pearl? Interesting. We're playing Pearl map 1. $1,000 is a lot of money. Verify on that. But Pearl is an interesting map, I think, for the Vandals. I think we've only played it
very
once so far in the season. And no. Was map 1 or was series or week 1?
Week 1 had
map 3 Pearl?
Yep.
Yeah. So we played 2 weeks.
Yep.
Week 1 and week 3 we had Pearl in our pool. But they were map 3. I don't think we've ever had
start off.
Pearl be map 1. Usually it's, what is it, Split? No.
Split is usually map 2.
Yeah.
I'm
missing map 1.
Bind. Yeah.
Yes, that is typically the Vandals map.
The monastery place.
But I think maybe because we are either the away team this week or just doing some different stuff, we're just gonna be playing Pearl, which I don't hate. I love the comp that the Vandals are running as well. I believe is very similar to the Sentinels comp, which it looks extremely experimental. You don't see a lot of Vice played in competitive play, or at least, you know, this level of play.
She's
quote unquote upper collegiate.
She's only really used on 2 maps, one of them being Pearl and the other one occasionally being Icebox. So it's nice to see her being used around, because I personally think she has some of the best support potential in the game.
That's true, but I feel like a lot of agents' abilities and effectiveness is very much map dependent,
Yep.
and I think in the case of Vice, that's just what it is.
Because like Sage is useless on this map.
If you look at Pearl, and you look at Icebox and the similarities that they share, they're very laney maps, but the sites are a little bit more expansive, and I think that's where in environments like that, that's where Vice really gets a shine, right? You know, you use those kind of fine pits to block off large areas because the radius is huge for those.
Absolutely massive.
You have silly, you know what else is massive? Anyways,
I do
sorry,
know
I had
it
to
is
get that
massive.
one. I had to get that one out since it was mentioned. But you know, you have the flashes. There are a lot of
What do
really
you mean
good
it was
spots for
mentioned?
those. You said massive, so I just obligatory had to
That's
make
fair.
the joke. But you know, there's a lot of really great high spots that cover a lot of areas that you can throw the arc rows that it can't easily be destroyed. So yada yada, lots of fun stuff related to that comp. Although the comp that I'm seeing from Queens is pretty interesting. You got a Brimstone, Fade, Taeho, KJ, and Jet. Now, I don't know what's a good duelist on this map. I've seen Yoru played a little bit, but I think the way that you
consistent carry for the season.
I think that you play Yoru in very specific comps in very specific situations, and Pearl is the kind of map that you play a specific comp for that Yoru fits, right? Jet, yeah, absolutely. And fortunately, you know, Jet's not playing into a Cypher, so I guess that she has a lot of range to really mess with here. Killjoy, maybe. I don't really know how I feel about the Killjoy pick. I guess we'll just see how it goes and how Queens intends to use it. Taeho, I think Taeho is kind of essential on this map.
I
For
find
sure,
Taeho
speaking
to
of
be
which, the guided salvos immediately finding Loftek as they try to leave Link there.
I have one issue with Taeho, and I think it's that he's too consistent. There's not a map that he can't.
I would argue that there are. But I think when characters are new and newly introduced to the meta, the way, you know, that people decide to play them and the comps that people decide to play them in are very different. Because it's just, people are trying to figure out like where they really fit. I think it's gonna take a couple more acts until we really figure out like
what's his identity.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it, actually. The identity of the character. Now, in the middle of that whole spiel, a lot of engagement has happened. Four players from Queens had died. Spike went down. It's not in a good spot. So I do like Brimstone Smoke a lot.
There we go.
They do find the right click, but David is able to find that trade.
Can they get the bonus round on top? That'll make it. If they do, that'll be the third time in the season.
That's true. Again, like this round ends up being a very different situation for a lot of teams. Obviously, you don't expect to play that long with a post plan on a pistol, right? So the fact that we were even able to make it that far, I think, says a little bit about Queens' ability to like play the certain push and pull. You know, that's commonly played on a map like this. But also, I don't know. I have zero clue. So we're gonna keep chugging along. We're gonna keep moving. Cars moving around in halls with the help of OGC. Believe it is Diabolic, right?
Diabolic has been running.
Diabolic is typically the initiator, yes, yeah. Sumcheese does find the first on Tars. Team Captain looking for another, not able to get the shots off on Boshi. 6 Eeks finding David.
The early Vandal goes crazy
Gonna
on
see
Sumcheese.
Queens stacking up in Link, but the Vandals already have the spike down. 3v3 situation now with a lot of damage already off on the side of Queens. Vandals still relatively full health, able to back up, play in... Oh, never mind, I was looking at the wrong side. So a lot of damage taken off of the Vandal, actually, while
Queens
the rest
is
of Queens
good
is pretty much
progress
full
through the
health.
map. Yep.
a situation I already don't
missiles
like about
away.
this is
Mateo Barrage
position.
salvo comes
The
out.
salvos do come out, delay the plant from both sides. Loptech finds one through smoke, finds another, looking for a third.
And
They're gonna get it,
they
and
get him through the
Diabolic.
smoke.
That was a very close situation. They almost did not get that kill.
But they do get the bonus round.
out, mate.
One of them does
Keep
get
fighting.
their weapon.
Rest
I don't
is
know why
over.
Loftic pushed forward afterwards. He could easily have saved his Vandal. But you know what? We take the round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The move to buy up there is certainly curious. It happens sometimes, but
Sometimes
you know, it
you
is a
forget.
risky move, especially if you lose your gun and then don't have money to play with in your bonus round. So you have to do what Loftek's doing right now by Sheriff Light, which. Oh, I just realized that Loftek is playing Teo and not Diabolic. Diabolic is playing the informative initiator, which I find kind of interesting. I think I'm used to him playing the more aggressive, offensive initiators, such as Breach, for example, which we see him play a lot in the Breach Teo. Having Loftek on the Teo is certainly interesting, but I guess that was very similar to what was going on over the weekend when the 5th sub Phil, was playing the Teo. I guess Loftek is just assuming that role now. But I guess it's been working out. He's got the salvo placements down, which are that is certainly what makes a good Teo player from a great player. Now, I did speak a little bit too soon on that because he's already dead, but, it's fine. Venesis also gets the kill on some cheese, and Diabolic is able to find that trade. 6 Zeeks,
Spike planted.
despite the spike getting planted, making big moves on the flank. Looking something big.
Face
David
your
doesn't know that he's
fear.
there yet. You see the Fade ult. 6 Zeeks, despite having the free flank, misses every single shot.
Bomb grenade out.
Moshi's moving out of Garden now with the help of Terrace.
Paranoia is currently activating. Goes
Finds
down.
the
Both
one on
seeks him,
David. Cars having the tap. Game
He
captain being able to
didn't
take out
reload.
Moshi. Diabolic swinging. Gonna throw out the eye to delay the plant.
Just have to keep the stall.
There
and
it is.
Diabolic drops an easy 3K against Tara and secures another round.
Yeah,
Diabolic has already been popping off today.
Okay, hopefully we stop talking so much now that we actually have game audio. For a while we couldn't hear what was going on in game, so I was just
Building up
talking
the
and
noise.
not paying attention. But now I can actually play off of the game audio. That's good. Vandals so far feeling pretty confident. That Fade Eye was absolutely perfect in both delaying the plant and allowing Diabolic to get that kill. Very much was a close by neighboring universe where Diabolic whiffed every single shot in the same way that 6 Zeeks did on that flank. But it happened.
But
got
the
the round.
The
The
Haunted
bonus
getting the exact
confirmed.
location of Tars allows them to constantly just pressure them. They weren't allowed to get even to the halfway point with the Juzo.
Although, that does end up being kind of problematic for Queens, who obviously didn't, win their force. So now they have to play Sheriff Light. They have to play on their save in a situation where Vandals still have the upper hand, able to get on site, get that spike down once again, and take someone down with them.
And even if this somehow doesn't work out in the Vandals' favor, they have so much money already to play with it. They could easily do a full buy for another round if need be.
Absolutely. I think in a situation like this, it's all about just, building up on your savings account, right? Being able to have money for a little bit later. You see Tars move in the halls
Game
with
Captain
the
using
dash,
an
but Game
easy
Captain
bait.
finding a very free gate crash. You see 6 each trying to tap the bomb for a little bit of bait. The smoke should be going down in a little bit, and the Vandal should be able to
The
fight it a little
smokes-
bit easier.
The smokes
Game
don't
Captain-
matter if you throw enough bullets to cover the smoke.
True. Diabolic finding a late trade.
Oh my goodness.
Another, and with the help of some, she's able to clinch.
Diabolic
since
is
that round, but
7-0.
someone- Died in the post plant? Was that some cheese? The Vice?
That looked like some cheese.
Okay, that's a little silly, but again, literally what we were just talking about, we still have the money.
Yeah.
Vandals are still playing pretty safe in their
One
pocket.
self-destruct in exchange for a victory is by no means a hefty price.
And
And Diabolic is
well,
currently
Game Captain
8-0.
is pretty broke. Maybe
Well,
if
he has plenty
Diabolic
of money
bought
from his
him,
allies to buy what he needs.
I think Diabolic should be buying him this round, but that is fine. Maybe he'll get to buy next round. But once again, Queen should be on their force up. Have another opportunity to take a couple rounds. 6 Zeeks shooting the Prowler, revealing their position. Diabolic able to swing get
Game
the pick
Captain
on
getting an
6
easy flank.
I mean, sorry, Vanadis with Game Captain following it up on 6 Eeks.
Queens is struggling with how. I will say
They're
this.
getting really
the Vandals
unlucky
are
with their
so
stacks.
aggressive here, and I kind of really like it.
I don't typically see this from them a lot, but it continues to work.
Oh,
Kind of
Tars
like
with the
over and
hop.
over. Boshi
Oh no!
finding Game Captain who was holding for Tars. You see the Killjoy on. Salvos might have to get wasted on that. Some Cheese does take out Tars, so the AWP is down on the side of Queens.
One enemy
Oh,
remains.
Some Cheese overstaying their welcome in the Killjoy.
Can
See the
they
Prowlers
pull
coming
this?
out. The push Loftek out, and Loftek is going to get the Salvos on Spike to delay the plan, but it's not enough. Oh,
Angela broke Loftek's ankles with that rotation.
Very unlucky. I think the Killjoy put a lot of pressure on the Vandals, especially
The ult
since
placement,
the
yeah.
Salvos weren't back in time in order for Tejo to destroy them. So, you know, there's nothing that you can really do there unless if you're on site able to get a pick and destroy it. You either have to sit there and take it, which, you know, didn't work out in the case of Some Cheese, or you got to go, which is what happened to Loftek. Obviously
And
got
then
pushed off in
splitting
the
those
main.
resources allowed the Queens to have a massive advantage there.
So, you know, it does put the Queens on board. The Knights is actually their mascot. I like that little joke there. Boshi up into Link. Some Cheese not expecting it. He is going to be bested by that Phantom in long. Boshi pushed up in street.
Don't get hit by the op. David with a magnificent headshot
There's
on the
just
op
too much
user.
pressure on Tars, and you know they tried
Here
to
comes
ego
the
it.
Astro Wall.
Now, I believe Boshi heard multiple walk up. You're gonna see that swarm grenade out, activated, but the spike is already down and wasn't actually in a spot that would have prevented the plant. So you also see the smoke here by the enemy Brimstone, which now goes down. Boshi
getting down.
finding Game Captain lacking, falling asleep at the wheel.
Oh, here
Tejo
comes Armageddon.
isn't on the spike, and once again, oh, never mind, I lied. Angela was able to get half. All they need is a couple picks. Vanitas finding 2 now, finding the kills they need to finish the defuse and put another round on the board for Queens.
Starting to reach their stride. They're putting they're putting a much greater fight against the Vandals now that they're starting to understand some of the strategies going through.
But I think also the Vandals are just really getting unlucky in that post plant. I mean,
especially Game Captain.
The Armageddon was way too late, and it allowed Angela to get that half, which really did put a lot of unknown pressure onto the Vandals. They're like, oh, we need to fight this. We need to get these kills so they can't get the defuse off, whether or not they're sticking, right? So now we're in a situation of we've lost a couple rounds in a row after having really good economy. We're going to have to save a little bit, which, you know, if we lose another one, could be really out of our favor.
That will force us to go into either an eco round or even potentially a force. And if that fails, nothing will save the economy anytime soon. Bring out the salvos.
A little bit of damage on the Boshi. Vanitas looking for theirs and finds it. Finding 2, actually. David taking out Tars on a lurk. Going to be joining his teammates, but doesn't know that 6Eeks is holding the off here. Going to allow him to find it. Rest of the Vandals pressure too hard.
It's diabolic and Some Cheese against the worlds.
Going to have to go for a rotate. No info on anybody else's positions. They do know that 6Eeks was last art, but they have no idea if they would have pushed up, which looks like they're doing about right now. Going to see them going out of shops into attacker spawn. They're not called that in this game. I forgot. Vanitas holding the off angle. Some Cheese looking to clear it. Vanitas sees the barrel of the gun, swings off the Prowler, but still
drops
is
4K.
able to find it. 4 kills for the controller. Another round on the board for the Knights, which definitely not a round that you want to lose. Your last force, a force that really shouldn't have even happened, and because the Knights were able to take advantage of that, it's just going to allow them to, you know, keep finding more rounds. Now you have to save, and unless if you can hit your share of shots, which sometimes the Vandals are not known for doing,
But after what we saw last week, it is very much possible that Vandals in certain capable hands are just as deadly as an actual Vandal.
David taking out Fade Haunt. Securing the ult ward grabbed. David trying to swing this. Look for one lucky peek, but Boshi will be able to kill some dreams. Some cheese finding that trade.
Without obscuring vision.
No duelist on the side of the Vandals. Going to be definitely a little bit harder to push these. Vanitas taking out Prowler. Waiting for them to push out of smoke. Does find the one, is traded out, but Angela is going to be able to back them up and take out Loftek. And
gets one
unlucky timing. 6-6 taking out the last Vandal alive to tie things up 4-4 with another 4 left in the half. Vandals not looking as strong as they were before on another force. Looking to make things happen, but they don't have much time left in the half to do it.
Ideally here we go 7-5, but that might be a tall order to ask.
I really think, Overlord, that the results of this half are really going to be determined by this round. Vandals
If the Vandals lose here, they're going to lose the next 2 rounds. Almost guaranteed.
But Vandals here on a force. Obviously, Queen's feeling pretty confident. But if they can at least take one off of the team, you know, who's almost been snowballing a little bit, should allow them to find a couple more. Sunchi's able to
Boshi.
start some of that.
And then
taking off
immediately
Boshi
take
the
it down
wall.
with the op from
Tars
Tars.
holding Link. Also see Angela. Oh! A kill. Loftek almost completely missed. Also hit by the decay. Fade ult going out, allowing Angela to at least find one. Numbers out of the Vandals' favor in a 2v3. Others on road. See Diabolic looking for a flank.
Now it's going to be a matter of whether or not the Vandals go ahead and pursue B, or maybe if they rush, they could try and go for an A swap.
I really think that pursuing B might be their safest option, but they have to tap somewhere. I believe that Vanitas is going to be holding for this ult, but you see most of them holding up deeper into Link. Not where the Vandals are, so neither team really knows where they are. You see the Armageddon to flush them out of Link anyway. See a lineup coming out of Angela to clear. You see the Brimstone ults to delay the plant. Information revealed, they know they're here, and now they have to make something happen.
Oh, there's
Angela
one down.
taking out Loftek, but doesn't have time, Diabolic, to get the spike down. This could be another round off the board for the Vandals.
The Vandals
Knights
have to go an eco round.
Going absolutely crazy, you know, finding 5 in a row here. Not obviously the most advantageous situation for the Vandals, but still, I mean, making them look pretty strong. Those first 4 rounds were not very convincing out of Queens, but, you know, they flip things around very, very fast and showing
Boshi
why they're
and
here, you know, why they're trying to keep
especially
things
showing
competitive.
that, hey, you guys can't take us lightly. We will show you why we are here.
Going to round 10 now. Opportunity to at least tie up the half or even take a lead is not dead yet. See some of the Vandals holding for the crawler. Angela able to leave just in time to dodge the scan.
Actually coming out trying to block some of the access to A site. But the Vandals are very quickly converging onto their location.
Game captain getting ready to push their team in. See the Salvas go out. The Salvas are also going to block off Art.
Okay, and we see that the rest of the Knights are going to start
Concussion
running
misses.
over.
Angela dying through Loftek. Through the smoke. Loftek also getting a little bit of damage on the Vanitas. Sumchi's going to be able to clean that up.
This will give the Vandals a little bit heavier weaponry here.
6-6. Hiding in
Watch
dugout,
the
but
sweep. There we
Diabolic
go.
is clearing.
Pick up that Vandal.
So many important picks for the Vandals to have here. So many rifles, right? On an eco are gonna help you in this post plant. Rest of the Vandals gonna play off a little bit here.
If they can go ahead and take down Tars and take that op as their own, I think their push towards B will be significantly easier than it has in the past.
Bushy taking a little bit of damage from some on site.
Last
Knows they're in a
player
bad
standing.
position. Some she's finding the last
There we
of
go.
that. And David finding the pick they need to finish off the round and getting a secured Thrifty after losing that Force last round. This is going to be big for the Vandals to have. Definitely not one that I was expecting them to get for sure.
But this will give them the ability to fight back.
Mm.
But it looks like none of them decided to take
It's,
which I guess
in
makes
most
sense since they're not on
situations-
the defensive, which is what you want to have for that pre-setup.
That's true, but we have seen Game Captain play Street on B with the up before, or with at least an outlaw or some kind of sniper. Issue being is in a situation like this where the economy isn't really strong and we're just starting to make gains again, you don't really want to risk dying super early and then having to give that up later on by an unlucky pick or something like that. He's going to see the Vice ult come out from the Vandals, allowing them to push on. Game Captain getting that pick on Boshi and allowing them to get the Killjoy destroyed. Also see the Astral Divinity blocking off Link and Art. Going to allow them to get that spike down. See the tether hit. Diabolic on the flank. Doesn't check for Vanitas, at least not properly.
But it gives the Vandals time to plant and focus their defenses. The Astral Walls making it hard for Queens to push forward unnecessarily.
Game Captain hitting the gate crash after getting hit with the stun. 6 Eeks taking out Loftek. See the Tejo, I believe, trying to block out main, but some Cheese and Game Captain each find their own. Angela taking out Game Captain. Arc Rose destroyed. Some Cheese has to hold this, and last two Vandals are down. It's an unlucky round to lose after winning a Thrifty. Obviously can't bring those guns into the next round. The opportunity to tie still is not gone. We have one more round left for the Vandals to at least tie things up, at least, you know, make things a little bit easier on them going into the second half.
But
7-5 finish in the first half would not be great,
this
but
Force is going to be difficult to deal with. Game Captain running low on literally everything.
I told you, someone should have bought him earlier. The Akion was all over the place, and now he's broke. Meantime, obviously, buys are still pretty healthy coming out of the Knights. Still have that off on the board. That doesn't seem to be too much of a threat. You had that one kill a few rounds ago, but nothing else past that, really. Tars, never mind. I spoke too soon. And that is literally what I was talking about. You talk about something, and
it immediately is going to happen
yeah.
opposite of what you want to have happen.
Tars finding a pick on Loftek with that op. Tejo utility so essential for the post plant, and having that robbed off of them is going to be detrimental to this round.
Well, we do see the Dimensional Drift come out from Game Captain, trying to get some information here as he gets ready to pull out and try some stuff.
Teleports back into mid to collect his team. Some Cheese
Launching Thorn.
trying to pose a threat in the upper. Vanitas is
Spike down
always
A.
reliable to hit his shots.
And then
Doesn't
you're
want
going
to
to
peek
quickly
back
get
out
away
through
from
the
the
vines.
engage, try and
Knows he's being held.
keep his progress.
Vandals will be able to recollect Spike, but Vanitas is going to find another. Taking out Game Captain.
Vanitas has been the scourge of the Vandals thus far for the
30
first half of the
seconds
map.
left.
It doesn't look like there are a lot of situations where...
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
Angela finding a very nice kill on the Some Cheese, and
And drops
David
the double.
finish out the half flawless round to finish off first half 7-5 in the favor of the Knights. Now, I would like to compliment for sure the Knights' late round play. They always seem to understand how to position in certain areas. In a situation that's, you know, just like the one we just saw, 5v2, had Angela holding water there while everybody else was in a place that pretty much just surrounded the Vandals, where they would have had an encounter that was against them almost anywhere they went.
I just hope that the Vandals are going to be taking a hard look at how the situation is being caused and be like, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to make sure that we go ahead and don't get hit by the Vanitas flanks, clear our corners, and when we do go for those plays around, we cannot miss our shots.
Well, that is a lot easier said than done.
Well,
for a lot of
there's a reason I'm on the Valorant.
even players at this caliber can still whiff quite a few shots when it matters most. But the issue with having those side switch now is now you have to take that role. Now you have to be the man to step up and say, we gotta lock things down. And if it ends up being very similar to this pistol round, that might not be a great showing out of the Vandals from today. Knights already getting spiked down, planning for Street. 6ECs already finding that one on Game Captain. Lopsec taking out Tars. Find a little bit of room. Some Cheese peeks out smoke, gets one. Spike is tapped. Mollies and Swarm Grenade out, but Loftek does take out Vanitas. Diabolic does take out 6ECs. Great utility usage, but Boshi finds the one with the right click. Neither can hit their shots, but David is going to be able to lock it down.
And the Vandals win pistol round yet again.
It's very nice to see. Very nice to see
after
how the last half had gone. And even though we were able to find so many rounds at the beginning of the last half, things can get turned around on us very quick, and we know that now. So Vandals really do need to just...
And if you look at the Vandal guys, they're committing to try and ensure victory. Look at that. Pulling out Guardians, getting a Bulldog, and an Outlaw in Game Captain. Like you said earlier, he's probably going to take care of B long.
Loftek, Guardian holding for Art. This is an angle that is very easy to fall asleep at the wheel at. So wouldn't blame Loftek for missing a couple shots here. Especially, you have the height difference, so remembering the crosshair placement a little bit. Cheese does find Angela, though, regardless. But Boshi's going to find that. No smokes on the side of the Knights, though, so getting onto a side and locking it down long enough to get the spike down may prove a little bit difficult later on. Diabolic taking out Boshi.
Spike carrier is down.
Just going to be Tars and 6ECs. Brawler coming out, finding Tars. He's forced to fight it. Does take out Loftek. Has to leave, not wanting to fight David here. Obviously not in a great position against that Bulldog. But now you can see Tars and 6EC. Move back up with each other. Game Captain finding a very nice kill on the Tars. Now it's 6EC alone, has to recoup the spike, but Game Captain is going to be there first.
Solid double. Already making good use of the Outlaw.
Very much so. And now, that's tied the game. First 2 rounds going to the Vandals, but will they be able to find the third? Third, in a situation like this, very important. Obviously, you're tied up now. And any momentum that you can begin to take for your team into this half is crucial. Essential in this case for the Vandals if they want to look towards taking this map.
Especially considering how risky this forces from the Queens. If they lose this round, that should be at least another 2 rounds dedicated pretty much securely for the Vandals.
Exactly. Which is definitely not a situation that you'd want to be in if you're the Knights, right? Oh, yeah, you're not.
You're the shot.
That's tragic. I just blew hard into the mic, but it's fine.
I don't think he needed to push so aggressively out when he had the Outlaw angle.
It's not really something that you're going to find much value off of if you're playing an Outlaw, unless you're able to hit heads or you had an op in your hand. Issue being his gate crash is a little too slow, right? Oh, big! The Astra Suck and the guided salvos to find Angela. 6EC is able to take out some cheese. Gonna walk out with the mine, but doesn't see Loftek inside him. Prowler winding Boshi, forcing them to stay in the corner for a little bit. David holding a trigger discipline angle, does find Tars trying to back in the garden.
That leaves a 2v2.
The Molly to block off Link.
Boshi and a Vanitas.
Great gameplay sense from Vanitas, but the Prowler is going to go out. Is going to clear right side. Vanitas stuck. Taps the spike. Loftek's holding for him. Knows he's there now, but doesn't have the time to get the shots off. Vanitas able to get that kill, confirm their lead once again.
Losing half health to the Molly did not help that encounter.
Yeah, you try to ego that, but if you're not able to hit the shots securely, it ends up not being a great situation for you.
Then you give away your only lifeguard being able to save you from how that encounter is being played.
Now, a couple of the Knights are running a little bit broke this round. Obviously, Angela having died pretty early into their force-up, so not having as much money to play into this round. And 6 Eeks, I believe, also having died and, you know, facing a very similar situation.
They're going to find themselves to be incredibly troubled if this spree continues.
Exactly. Tars
Locating
looking
target.
to clear Link. Locktech almost throwing his crawler in the wrong place. Doesn't have the reaction time needed to finish off Tars. Very unfortunate that pick has to happen so early. Again, Tejo, very crucial to lay the plant, at least in the case of the defender side. Obviously, we saw the kill with the Astrowell and the guided salvos on Angela from last round. So to have that down pretty early is, you know, pretty
really,
big.
really big. Yep. That utility is just, it's going to be what they need to take down Vanitas. And without it, I don't think they will have as many options to do so.
Speaking of which, Vanitas prepared to get those smokes down. Rest of the Vandals trying to make a move onto A, and it doesn't seem like the Knights are going to fake. Salvos pushing some cheese out of Garden.
30 seconds left.
They do know he's here. Does find it anyway. Gets a rifle out of it, but traded out.
And they're going to go ahead and plant it down.
Diabolic doesn't know that the spike is pretty much right here. It's stuck playing in the smoke. And backed up by the Killjoy.
That is going to force all the pressure onto the Vandals. They are not going to be able to be near point for this.
Where are you?
Game captain was in it because he's
Just barely, and he was not
paying attention. Fade Eye does detect 6 Eeks. Playing in secret now, they know. Vanitas holding for Garden, waiting for something. It doesn't seem like the Vandals are going to take it. Bait denied. Gonna have to save their rifles for this round. Do you see 6 Eeks trying to ego it, but
It's just not going to be worth it.
well, it really depends on if they're able to find it or not. It seems like, you know, most of the Knights are trying to go for it. Game captain does take one.
They are not going to let him take a second.
I even noticed he had the op. It's kind of big to take that one off again. But even so, you know, the Knights still have pretty solid economy to be able to play this. Vandals still kind of struggling to, you know, find themselves. Again, they did have those first 4, but after getting snowballed a little bit in the first half, and the second half not being as fruitful of a period in the game, Vandals need to put a lot more on the table. And I'm not finding too much tar.
But then again, that is
Diabolic and
done.
some cheese finding one of their own.
Silence.
Angela able to find a late trade as well.
Trying to hold up that upper spot and see if anybody dares come through that angle. But I don't think that is something they're going to have to worry about at the moment, as the Vandals are mainly focusing on A and then have the one long flanker down towards B side for game captain. It's just making this a rough position for the Queens to move forward without any information on where the Vandals' current positions are, but they're so spread out that I don't think... If David goes down here, the Vandals are going to have no defenses left for plant.
I think David will at least be able to react to the util usage fast enough. David
Or he
finds
can
a
just
very
win those.
nice pick
Spike
onto
down A.
Angela. Laying the push from the Knights for a little bit longer. Boshi pushing up, and they don't know.
30
Ready to
seconds
take that
left.
kill. Turret on
They
top of the
Vantage
box.
reclaims
Some
the
cheese
spike
for the
and they move
trade.
towards point.
And the Visal to delay the push from the Knights.
Boshi moved too far
Boom.
forward.
One enemy remaining.
Might be a ninja defuse. Some cheese doesn't know
Some
where
Cheese is not
Boshi
looking in the
is,
wrong
and they're going to
direction.
be able to take him out. But Game
But Game
Captain there
Captain
for
wins
the
the round for
trade.
the Vandals. That's what we like to see. I don't know which way Some Cheese was looking, but clearly it was the wrong one.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have any information on position. They didn't know where he backed up.
Yeah, that is
Because they
true.
could have gone anywhere. They could have gone in a link, could have gone in Garden. And I was assuming that after they got Vanitas out, they were focused on just getting the spike diffused. So, you know, it happens.
It does happen. You are correct. It is unfortunate, it definitely is going to strain the Vandals' economy a little bit with having to deal with that fact. but
Yes,
you know
having to
what?
force up.
They take what they take.
Having to force up that deep it's going to be a little hard, especially with how many people died on the side of the Vandals from that last round. But seems like, why am I blanking?
Seems like what?
I'll return.
Seems like the Knights are also on their force. That's what I was trying to say. Last round where
both
the
of them are
economy is
struggling for
secure, and if they drop another round, not only will it allow the Vandals to tie things up, but it might even allow them to take a lead. Am noticing, however, that they're mostly just trying to look for picks, look for information about where to push. But you see the spike a little bit deeper than anybody's pushed up right now.
They're all just kind of waiting for someone to give them a glimpse of how they're going to react.
Indeed, spike not being picked up just yet. Now picked up, it seems like. Knights may commit to the A push. I believe they hear a little something. See David getting some stars down, get it well, and a smoke down. Gonna get counter smoked by the Brimstone. See this, the well hits David. No, not being able to hit his shots, moving a little bit too much. There's a lot of damage on the 6-6 though that can be taken advantage of a little bit later. Some cheese looking to swing, finds one. Finds 6-6, that's two now.
Enemy remaining.
Diabolic taking out Boshi. But the Brimstone being held by Vanitas, who's either going to get pushed out. Going to definitely have to do something. Hit by the mine and taken out by some cheese. 3K secured. And that's the tie. Now 9-9 for the Vandals versus the Knights.
Which gives them a... And honestly, you say it's tied, but the Vandals have a slight advantage here.
true.
Economy-wise and momentum-wise.
That is true. You know, they did find their last two, and I think the momentum, stars align perfectly in their favor to be able to keep things moving here. Obviously, the Knights lose that last round when they were on their 4, so they don't have as much money to play with this round. And unless they're able to get a Thrifty, which is pretty much crucial.
Highly unlikely, but it is possible.
It's pretty damn crucial if the Knights want to be able to take this map, is finding the Thrifty here. But, you know, there's a big chance that they don't. Vandals take another round and hopefully are able to take that momentum into finishing the map off.
Because this is very much their opportunity to do so. The
Which is
Vandals
so far
have the opportunity.
seemed really, really rough, right?
Yeah.
Again, they found those first 4 rounds and just, you know, couldn't find too many more in the first half.
But now it's a lot more intermittent.
Right? It's, you know, it's definitely not a situation that you want to see yourself in. And, you know, I kind of like where the Vandals are seated now, at least in this part of the map. My only question is how do these 50-50s turn out? Do they hit their shots? Loftek does, taking out Tars, the kunai down, backed up,
Trying to go
with
for the
his
salvo charge.
rifle, at least for Boshi. Which could be big, any rifle in any hands.
Especially
could be incredibly
Boshi's,
valuable,
though.
but guess who's on that flank? It's
Some
Some Cheese,
Cheese
who
taking
does
down
find
Angela.
Angela. Able to back up, found his one, doesn't get greedy. Game Captain now holding doors. He does have that off in hand in a really
misses
bad
the shot, but doesn't
situation.
have
It's
enough
going to
time for his
allow
reload.
30 seconds left.
someone to pick it up. I don't know who went for it.
I would only assume it'd be their Tejo. No, it's not
No.
Tejo.
It was either Boshi or Vanitas.
Placing
It
alarm
looks
See
like
the alarm bot.
Not Boshi.
Lombard going to get destroyed,
Vanitas
but
took it.
12 seconds left on the clock. Something's got to
10
come
seconds left.
out.
They just have to keep stalling.
Without a stop.
Boshi finds some cheese, but Diabolic does find Vanitas. Spike down, but not luck down. Gonna allow the Vandals to get the Fatal out. 6 Eeks hit by the Prowler. Has to back up in the link, right? Damage on the Boshi. Has to push backwards. Spike hit. Pressure on for the Knights, who
Wait,
need
do
to
they
push
not
this.
hear it?
They probably don't know.
Okay, easy defusal.
And 6 Eeks giving himself up.
What just happened there?
That's pretty unlucky. I guess they didn't hear.
Was
the
it? It might
spike
have
get
been the
tapped,
sound of. It might have been the sound of the smoke coming up.
but surely
don't
someone
know.
else had to have heard it. And
Surely,
calmed it,
right?
Right?
But they didn't move.
I don't know.
But you know what? The Vandals take those.
Yeah, crazy round and central round, especially since now Vandals have 3, about 4 ults, as some cheese is able to find one here, who's looking pretty strong on this map despite the Vandals' shaky performance in the first half. And I will keep bringing that up because, I mean, look at how things have turned around. We finished
It is
first half
very much-
7-5 in the favor of the Knights. Now, I mean, they
You
do
still-
not
you
look
still have
like
to be-
second half
You
players.
still have to be careful of what you say. This is not over by any means.
That is true. Things can still happen. See the fade ult come out, not hit anybody. That might not be great.
All missiles
Might.
away.
Crawler
Just a little bit.
finds Chars on site, but I believe the Vandals already knew that they were committing A, and now they're going to have to be
This is a
playing for the
significantly
retake.
faster plant than it was in the rounds previous. They are ready and
See
committed.
the dimensional
Game captain
drift.
is moving.
Lobtech finds Angela in Garden. Finding the 2 in main as well, but some cheese can't hit his shots. 6 not being able to as well. Get a div. King captain with a
Good
nice flick.
flick, Captain.
Lobtech finding Vanitas as well. That's 3. Just
Oh,
Boshi
Captain,
alone in
my
main.
Captain.
Has to push it up. A lot of pressure on him. 1v3 not in his favor. Stuck in main right here, and with the
And
help
there
of
we
Lobtech,
go.
Diabolic is going to take Boshi down. Get to point 11.
And we
Only
have that
a couple more
2-point
points
lead.
away from the Vandals taking map 1 in the series versus Queen College's Knights.
This is leading the Vandals in a very, very good position here. I think Queens is going to have to... Oh, Fatal, no audio.
They were so
that
ulted by
makes
Fatal.
sense.
I didn't even know they were so ulted. I thought it would have hit
I
by
thought it
that
faded
point.
at all. Yeah, I thought it faded at that point.
Oh.
But you know what? That does make sense.
That's unlucky.
Yeah.
I forgot how long that the fade ult lasts, and there's no
It lasts
real
forever.
indicator on screen to like show me. So.
Well, I mean, we could look at like the marks and decay, but that
yeah,
it's
but
to
it
be
depends on who we're
inconsistent.
looking at.
Yeah.
All missiles away.
Okay, 6 Seeks getting a little bit panicked, having to push up because of the crawler and the salvo. Diabolics is going to be able to find that one. Lobtech finding Vandadis as well. A little bad for the late round. Tars does take out Lobtech for a late trade, but David is going to follow that right up.
And they say, hey, you know what?
Boshi
We like those odds.
Taking game
Can
captain.
some
because
cheese
he
go
can't
ahead
hit
and take
those,
down
but
Angela?
once again, Boshi's left in a 1v3.
And-
Not in a post plan either.
And he does not have access.
All he
to
has is a Killjoy.
use.
He could drop it and make something happen, but he might not be able to. The Astro Well finding the turret, which I didn't even know could do.
There.
Oh, unfortunate
Some
timing.
cheese
His
did,
sub
in
team
fact,
was
ping it.
pinging.
Did in fact ping it. He did know
That
he was
was
there.
one
He
of-
did just get timing.
That was
though.
one of the pings of all time.
30 seconds left.
Not sure if it was really needed. I mean, we don't really have to play that up, that aggressive. Sure, you want the kill, especially because, again, some cheese is feeling pretty damn strong. I think 23-17 or 24-17 or something like that. But, you know, they have to back up. That allows Boshi the spike. Guess what? 10 seconds here left
10 seconds
on the
left.
clock. Boshi has to get to a site and make something happen. 7,
Yes,
6,
so quickly.
5. Gonna get the
Can
gonna get the
David
plant
do
down,
something
and
here?
who's here? It's David.
Planted. Last player
No, he
standing.
misses.
David
he
can't
whiffs
hit
the
his
shots on
shots.
Boshi.
And suddenly it's a 1v1. Boshi has 3 to his name, but is Diabolic with 21 health going to be able to shut it down?
You should run.
The Killjoy out for the post plant. Now 9 health. Has time
Does
to stick
Boshi
to
hear this?
defuse. Is he going to swing it in time? He doesn't have it.
No, Boshi
Boshi-
dropping a 4K clutch. How does he win those 1v3s?
Giving them bad fights. You know, they pushed off from their positions when they really didn't need to. They had the spike. All they had to do is hold it, but no.
That just...
But no.
watching that happen is so sad. And now the Vandals are the one being pressured for cash.
That
Honestly,
is
both
true.
of them are. The only one who really has money is Boshi right now.
Yeah, having won himself a couple crucial rounds, has enough money to at least buy one of his teammates, but even then, determining on how this round ends up going for the Knights really could make or break if the Knights are able to finish this out. Vandals, on the other hand, still fighting to hold their lead after finding a couple crucial rounds. Both brawlers are detecting each other. After finding a couple crucial rounds, Vandals need to keep things up for a little bit longer.
The question is whether or not can they.
Six Eeks.
He's not. He doesn't see it. There we go. So
Boom,
she's taking
free
an easy
peek.
pick.
Six Eeks just not on the top of his game like he was in first half.
Maybe it's just it's too late, and they're like, you know, we're not at the top of our game. But that is the case. I am both sorry and happy for that.
Tars able to push himself in the halls. Does take a little bit damage. The Vice ult coming out from some cheese as well. Will push the Knights
Almost
off, and
wins
now without
against Tars.
Tars taking out Diabolic for the rifle.
Thorns activated.
The Brimstone
30
ults
seconds left.
to push the Vandals out of Link. David getting a couple stars and
And then
smokes
now
down. Boshi
Spike
does take
has
out
been
Game
planted.
Captain. Trade found by Lofttech, but a little more progress has to be made at 3v3 situation. Tars pushes up
Especially
into
with
heaven.
David getting a hit from the side.
And this is never a situation you want to be in. You're playing in Link. You're having to fight people on site. Angela finds Lofttech.
It is balanced the score 11-11. What is going on here?
That's a little bad. You're seeing the timeout come out from the Knights. An essential turning point for the Knights, who, you know, were able to tie things back up and now taking a little bit of a proactive approach, being like, what do we need to finish this map out, right?
Whoever wins this round, I think, secures map 1.
What's the economy looking like, actually? If I'm able to see that. Vandals, actually, I wouldn't say that. It looks like they're about to be on their save for this round.
They might try and go for it.
I don't think they will. I don't think they have the money to.
Yeah, especially considering Lofttech has Sheriff. It seems like they're going to try and go for a, hey, we'll see what we can do. We'll try and get as much as we want and then win the 2 rounds afterwards. But that is a tough ask.
That could be true.
Especially considering they don't really have a whole lot that they can work off of other than Astra ults.
Obviously, what the Vandals need is a Thrifty here, right?
Yes.
And that's obviously way easier said than done.
it is one of the hardest things to do in the entirety of Valorant.
Well,
At least in my opinion.
you ever try to hit a Raze ult? I could.
Have you ever tried to hit a jet ult?
That can be fixed. That can be fixed by aim. Although, you know, aiming with jet ult, pretty interesting. You gotta be, like,
I will say
strangely
this.
precise.
We have had jets almost every single map the entire series. Not once have they won a fight.
That's true. That's true. I'm pretty
and
sure.
if that tells
anyway.
you something about the way jets play,
Vandals, Tars does take out some cheese, but David finds a trade. Angel is going to follow that right back up. It's going to allow the Knights to make a fast execute onto A. Salvo's blocking off Link just for a moment. 60's going to be able to get that spike down. Rest of the Vandals needing to move up through Secret and Garden to finish things off, and that's not really a position that you want to be in a Thrifty.
and they're going ahead and pushing back towards their spawn so they can have an easy line of sight onto bomb.
Knights holding through main. No smokes on the side of the Vandals. Can't block this off. Lofttech maybe he's going to be forced to push up, look for a pick. Prowler destroyed by Angela. They know to the left. Lofttech can't hit his shot. Diabolic does find one. Does find another. But the Armageddon gonna... Oh, that's bad. Boshi looking to swing. Game Captain not tapping,
He
but
had
still
the
gonna find that.
air right on the head.
Doesn't
He
even
just
matter.
did not win the reflex game.
Ghost does not win those in any situation, I don't believe.
Unless if the other person just whiffs entirely.
Yeah, that is true.
But the Vandals do have their ultimates up ready for this. This is going to be rough. They have to win this round. They have to.
Vandals looking
And
to
then we'll
bring
be
things
going into
into overtime. Map point for the Knights. An opportunity to turn things
I'm
around
gonna
for the
say this.
Vandals on
Tars,
the line.
use your ult. I want to see it, Tars. I want you to do it
Tars.
and waste the op.
Detected by the Haunt. Rest of the Vandals looking at Link in mid for some reason. Why is Diabolic not playing off of his own Haunt?
Get out
I'm
of
not
my
sure.
way.
He should be a little bit
Face
more
your
on site.
fear.
See the Fade ult not hit anything once again. Those Fade ults have not been useful
And Tars
on the
has used
side
his ult. The
of the
operator
Knights.
is no longer an issue.
C6 Seeks on that flank, but not having a Teo in could be pretty detrimental. Do you see the spike down for the Knights already? Looking to push things forward, but guess what? Diabolic has that Fade ult, has Astral Divinity. We also have the Armageddon online. you know, we have an opportunity to turn this around, and the Vandals are absolutely going to take it. See the fatal start. See the Astro Divinity out.
Astro
60
wall come up.
still finds 2. Tars finds his. Loftek finds a very late trade. Loftek hit by the tether with no info.
Last player
Does not win
Angela
the
taking
trading
out
against Angela.
David. Loftek finding Angela, but Vanadis is going to find the trade, and that's going to be map 1 for the Knights.
Somehow it felt like the Astro Wall was more of a hindrance than anything for the Vandals.
Well, I mean, not really. It's more, they pushed off it at the wrong time. They really did. I think the Vandals pushed off before their Astro Wall was even up. 6-6 knew exactly where they were, especially since they were playing on that flank. And everything just, you know, went downhill from there. It was a absolutely tragic situation. But, you know, the Vandals did as much as they could with what they had and kept things incredibly close. You know, it's not the first time that they 13-11 in a situation like that, as we saw with map 2
And considering
against,
the
I
amount of
believe,
forces they
Utica,
had during
right?
the mid part was so rough.
So very, very rough, admittedly rough map 1 for the Vandals. Definitely not used to opening the series with Pearl, and I think that kind of threw them in for a loop. But they held their own for sure pretty well, especially considering, you know, they haven't been playing with their roster for a little bit of time. Obviously, didn't have Loftek to play with over the weekend, but it seems like the energy, the chemistry between that team still hasn't gone too far.
It needs to have something needs to click for them to get up to the level of play that we're used to expect from the Vandals.
Well, I mean, really, they had it anyway. Again, like, there were moments where they pulled things into their favor, and, you know, there were a couple things that happened here and there that, you know, just ended up being lethal. Again, we had that ult dump, and then 6-6 immediately finding those 2 is immediately what turned that last round around for the Knights. And, you know, Vandals not being able to hit those shots, not being able to find the coverage that they need to get things done happens all the time, you know, and hopefully it doesn't continue into map 2. Haven, I believe, should be our pick.
Sounds about right.
I'm assuming since Bind was banned,
It's been
or Pearl was our pick because Bind was banned.
It was
no idea.
I'm pretty sure it's Haven is our pick.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but we will see how map 2 turns out after the break. So go get yourself a snack, get yourself some water, go use the bathroom. If you've been holding it, follow if you aren't already. We will see you right back. Hello
Didn't see
and
that.
welcome back to the UIdaho Esports Twitch channel. My name is Kaz. I'm joined here by Overlord, bringing you Valorant. There was something more fancy I
Had
was
to
supposed to say
double-check the
there, but
itinerary.
Valorant. Second half is always weaker from me. That's fine. As second half was a little bit weaker for the Knights as well. We're coming back to you live from the basement of the Pittman Center, bringing you the Vandals playing against the Knights
Queens.
all the
Yep.
way from Queens, New York.
Something that I wanted to mention now that I thought of it. The longer the Vandals can delay these games, the closer and closer they have this, the bigger advantage they're going to have over the Knights. It is
could be true.
10
I mean, some
o'clock
people-
over there right now, and
some
I can
people
assume
peak
only
at
some of them
11
are getting
PM.
tired.
I-
If that is the case, I don't think it's going to be all 5 of them.
You know, some people peak super late at night. I peak at like 2 in the morning.
Peak gaming hours.
You put me on Overwatch at like 2 in the morning,
and that's when you see
everybody
the Tracer
died.
ult, the
or
5-man Tracer
I go
ults.
on like a permanent like loss streak. It's really bad.
So you're saying not peak hours.
Well, it's 50-50. It depends on who's on, you know. Now, Vandals on Haven playing a more standard comp. We've moved away from the Fnatic comp. I think they've realized that it's not worth
That's
trying it
not
out.
gonna work
Doesn't
out for
really
them,
work
yeah.
out as well. And they like playing a more traditional comp, which is fine. I like the more traditional comp, right? There's nothing wrong with it. The comps are pretty much mirrored. Cypher, Breach, Sova, Omen, with the only differences between both teams being the duelist choice, Vandals choosing to play the Yoru, while the Knights choose to play the Jet.
Yep.
Now, I feel like Jet's a little tricky on this map because you're playing into all the Cypher util.
Which
and
means you cannot try and go for those quick dash picks onto people with Cypher being like, here's a location. Try and get past me.
Which the issue being, though, is obviously you're going to let your Jet entry so they can trigger all the util and break it. But if someone's playing off of the util, or
You're
the,
not gonna be allowed to
Vandals
do
are just
that.
fast enough, which we have seen them be on Haven, it doesn't work out for you. It never really works out for you. So I'm a little nervous about how the Knights aim to play this into their offense round in the second half. But let's talk about the Vandals. Right, going into their offense, they have a Yoru. And I think what the Yoru is really good about doing is playing off his Gate Crash. I feel like Game Captain really utilizes those to entry. That's how you can bypass pretty much all of the Cypher util. You don't have to hit the entry trip. You don't have to hit any of the trips later on in the site.
You just let Gabe Captain do what he can
because
based on
your
the utility
tip-
place.
Yeah.
But it looks like
never
Bandits
mind.
gets the first pick out on Game Captain.
Yeah, I
Your
gotta stop.
prediction immediately taken off the table.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop talking.
Why destroyed?
But 6 weeks, holding down Garage, Zybog, decided to move out. That's the Vandals without that entry utility.
Right
These
there.
things, and
Right
do have
there.
at least the Breach, which I feel like supplement a duelist. But now you have Loftek running through the smoke. It was a questionable decision because he wasn't playing with his Breach. Saw
don't
6
think
weeks
they
get
know-
stunned there. David
They don't know about the
Does
they don't
find
know
a
about
late
Cypher
trade.
hidden in the corner.
Oh,
6x gets a massive
Feed.
trade off there.
that's rough. That was. I'm actually gonna blame that round on Loftek.
Him going down
Usually,
so
I do
quickly.
not
They
specifically
didn't get
target
to have
players.
any of his.
I'll poke fun at a player, you know, for being at the bottom of the scoreboard. Because you know I'm down there
It
too.
happens.
That's my home.
It happens.
But I will clown on you if I notice you make a play that is so dumb, like just so stupid. And Lofttech deciding to just push through the smoke without anybody else with him, just throws a cam up and moves forward. That's dumb. That, however, is not your fault. He Tars swings out of sewer, finds a headshot on to Lofttech immediately, finding a big opening pick onto the Vandals. Now, once again, my voice is shot, cannot do these impersonations, but it seems like the Overlord here is more than willing to help you out.
The second you say it, I break.
I genuinely wish I could do these impressions. I'm not using my voice being shot as a cop-out, because if it wasn't shot, I would do the impersonation. But I am literally talking through damaged vocal cords right now. And also, I know the people who are redeeming the impersonates are just my friends trying to antagonize. Angela finding two. Game captain finding one of their own. Tars taking out David, looking for another. Sumcheese does take out Boshi, but Tars is going to find a third. Now, obviously, having a couple off that team is nice. Obviously, we won't have guns to bring into this third round.
I barely get to impersonate
But-
that round. You talked so much.
What can I say? I'm helping out.
I like the impersonations. You have the same problem Amelia does with Rocket League.
It's not that I don't do them.
You don't breathe
Yeah. No, I do.
for like a quarter of a half a second.
No, Amelia goes crazy when she's casting Rocket League.
Yeah, you're
And
not
she's
wrong.
like, she embodies the Latino casters for FIFA.
I feel like Jupiter just got skinned out because of that.
that's good.
Is that one of
That's
your
one of my
friends that's
friends.
trying to antagonize
Yes,
you?
yes.
Was he hoping to try and make you break your vocal cords even more?
He even told me last night, he's like, now that I know I can redeem those impersonates, I'm redeeming them all the time. And I'm like, that's
Okay, so
great.
Jupiter, the way this works is I was allowed to take this one on technicality because you didn't specify who it was for. So that means in the future, make sure you specify that Kaz has to break his vocal.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, you give me a free round of commentating over Kaz.
Yeah, but if I have to break my vocal cords even more,
That's a
I'm
shame.
just not going to be able to work for the rest of the semester. And I have Geek Bonk in a week and a half.
What do you mean you have Bing Bonk in a week and a half? We all have Bing Bonk in a week and a half.
Yes, but not all of us were casting for Geek Bonk. I'm pretty sure that I am.
We're,
I'm not
we're gonna
ready
be
for it.
cycling.
Spike
Yeah.
planted.
I'm not ready.
I'll help you out as much as I can, brother.
My voice, I don't think is going to be by that point. So I'm just going to
It's
drink
only
a lot of tea and
it's
hope
only
gonna
a
be okay.
10-hour event, 2 days.
Nope, it's just one.
Oh, is it going? Have we confirmed that it's the 1-day schedule?
Well, it's been confirmed. One day, the Friday is just for the pre-local, and that's
Oh,
Check
that's right.
out information for Geek Bonk on that start.gg/geekbonk.
It is going to be a massive day full of fun for anybody who's interested, and we're going to have so much content available for you guys.
Oh my goodness, Angela.
This
finds
is
himself
poor
too.
timing for the utility.
Diabolic, just cannot hit those. Lofttech.
Oh, but Lofttech
clutching up
it
when
up.
he needs to.
Lofttech, you are forgiven for the first round.
Look at him.
Man's happy.
Everybody else in the row is emotionless. Look at him. He's excited. He's popping off. He's like the only.
He's kicking his feet right now. He's so giggly. Honestly,
Also,
I respect
yes,
it.
Jupiter. That is half of the reason why I still do not have healed vocal cords. I gotta stop doing that. I really do have to stop. It's bad. But going into round 5 now, because I completely missed casting last round. No, 4. I was right the first time.
2 plus 1
And
plus
I'm
1 is 4.
I'm in college. I know math. Ah, yeah.
I think you're in Overwatch. I don't think you're in college. At this point.
That's the ideal
Game
situation.
Captain takes down Tar, Sumcheese
Game
taking
Captain
down
and
Boshi.
Sumcheese. Finding opening picks to allow the Vandals onto A. It's going to be a pretty, I was going to say fast execute. See Game Captain trying to clear, but yeah. Okay. Curious teleport from David. Lofttech. Getting that lurking Cypher is going to be big
Getting
for the
surgical
post-plant.
picks.
Playing in his cage, maybe looking to fight Vanitas. Playing in B here.
Last player
Lofttech
standing.
taking him out. Doesn't know that Angela's in backside though. I don't know if he plans to play this.
Is this going to be a
Locktech
flawless
walking
round? No, he
forward.
was not looking to his left.
Tragic.
He couldn't hear them. He had his headphones off. And David
looking down,
with
finding
an
a nice
early
headshot.
op. Oh my
Revealing area.
Looking down Angela.
Let's do
And
this.
tying the score back up, obviously. Forcing the Knights into another save round. Should be an opportunity for them to take a lead here. Keep things moving along.
Keep on shugging.
Here.
But this doesn't
Sorry,
mean
I'm
the
feeling it
Vandals
more in
can
my throat.
relax.
I gotta like.
With six being able to have that that Marshall, if he can get a lucky pick or two, like taking down Lofttech or maybe Game Captain, he could get the momentum back in the favor of the Knights pretty easily, considering it is only 2. This is the very beginning of the game. Subtwee's taking out Angela. They do see Tara come up.
Tars does take out Lofttech, but finds the trade. Well, nope, not a trade. Some cheese just takes out Vanders. Dars is still alive and gonna be forced to fight David here in a second.
Oshi
Never
missing
mind.
all
Some
their
cheese
shots.
finds a big shock dart. And now it's just 6 Seeks. On a big flake actually through Garage, but
And then
Be still.
Subtwee's
Okay.
getting an easy quad there. And they do get the spike of gold. Let's go. Spike money. Sorry. Credits. Money.
a little curious as to what the plan was from 6
Lofttech
Seeks.
number 1. I don't know. None of them were doing anything together there.
Yeah, I mean, in a save, they're like, I don't even want to play this round. Let's just int.
Let's just take them down.
Let's just int. I'm like, okay, I'd do that. I mean,
Honestly, respectable behavior.
someone in call is going like, he does that anyway.
That's just me.
No, I'm used to it. No, and it's true. I pretty much just do it anyway.
Who's next?
Boom. See, Game Captain. Oh, a lot of damage going on in 6 Seeks as he tries to
dimensional
retreat
drift.
back
He
on.
sees where
Some cheese does
all
finish
of them
that.
are on C. And now he is back with his teammates. All of them are like, there we go, we're back here. I could have sworn I heard some footsteps.
Well, they also hit the teleport. They would have heard it, I think.
Yeah, that is true.
Or do you only hear it near where the gate crash is placed? I don't remember. You should hear
hear
it
from
when
both.
he's teleporting
You hear
as
from
well.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I imagine.
You don't have to imagine it. It's true. You can trust me, I'm a primary source.
Yeah, you work right.
I'm one of Rito Games' main developers. I took away the Hextech justice. It was me. I took it.
See the reach ult coming out from the Vandals as well, but Boshi's is going to still find one through it. Diabolic picking out the raid and
And we see
the
that
counter
Tars
reach
takes their
ult to
ult
come out as well.
It is not a small
Game
amount
Captain
of utility.
one. Angela finding a collateral.
2-on-2. All they have to do is make sure they cannot reach onto Spike.
See the flash out. Spike should be planted for Sewer, so I like
It
this
is.
position that Lofttech's
My eyes
playing.
are down.
He's blocked off by the Omen smoke, but even so.
Last
They know
player
Lofttech
standing.
getting Banditas, and David able to finish that kill out, taking out Angela to find a cool little 2 points over the Knights right now.
It
Very
seems
different
like the score is
situation.
going opposite of how it did map 1 with a small lead from Queens being into an immediate reversal.
Now, I will say though, 4-0, which is what it was over the Knights in the last map of first half, is very different.
You're not wrong. You're not
4-0
wrong.
is definitely not really a small lead in first half, but the fact that Knights were still able to turn that around and find a pretty significant lead in the first half is
Not something to scoff at.
yeah, of course, yes.
My camera is
Lofttech taking out 60's Cam and Grass. Seeing the clone come out for the detail. Game Captain teleporting in, taking out Vanitas. 60's does find
Spike down,
Diabolic,
C.
but some cheese is there for the trade, and
And
now
the
Spike
spike
is
is
gonna
being
get
planted.
down.
Spike planted.
Down on it. Come on. And it looks like they are in an ideal position to defend here. You have 2 of them approaching from spawn and 1 coming from Link.
David holding for CT. Some cheese does take out Angela, but from, I believe, Garage.
One enemy remaining.
And there we go.
David
All that is left
taking
is
Tars.
Boshi.
Caught out. Boshi got out at the wrong time by Game Captain and Garage. I love that production
Unfortunate.
keeps cutting back to player cams, but the reactions are just
They're like,
nothing.
man, whatever. We're just here.
like, I don't know, man. We won
Like,
the
I don't
round. Woohoo. Also, shout out Sandman there in cam on the other row. One of my Overwatch teammates, Crazy Lucio, hopefully enjoying the new perks for his character.
As did Lucio get some fun perks to work with.
Everybody got fun perks.
Repel them.
I do
It
like
looks-
the
except for
Reaper
Ball.
volley launch.
Literally all of Ball,
Is just about his
Is-
slam.
it makes his kit even more annoying. And he was already
To be
like a
fair, the
pest.
people who play Ball enjoy that part of it.
that is true.
They are
So
they are the
it's more so to lean more into the things that make Ball fun for the people that like, right?
yeah.
Honors
kind of-
Fury
Go for it.
from Knights not finding anything. Op shot coming out as well, not finding much. Spikes is going to get
planted.
confirmed by the Vandals, and now the Knights are forced into a close plant play. Some cheese taking out 6 Eeks. We're going to take out Vanitas from Link. Angela is going to fall, but Vanitas is going to take out David. And Game Captain from back
Scanning
finds
ahead.
Diabolic as well, but Loftek with a very late trade.
Making it a solid 2v2. The Vandals having slight advantage with
Honors
ults.
Fury also coming out.
Oh, Tar's left
One
with
enemy.
5
Still
HP
sticking
as
Boshi,
Boshi takes
taking
down
out
Loftek.
Loftek. Doesn't have time,
Oh,
gets a late trade, and Boshi finds the trade as well.
Half a sec. If he was a 10th of a second faster, that would have been an easy trade.
I mean, he was just a little bit too far back. You know, he didn't have the time to push up. I think he would have had a little more time if he went through grass, considering he tried to go through window.
which is just a way more winding.
Yeah, but it's fine.
But it's
Vandals
alright.
still hold a nice 2 points over Knights.
And the Vandals have the better economy. They're currently ready.
Some cheese once again.
Popping off.
Match MVP so far. Certainly feeling himself today. Looking like the older days of when I used to spectate him. Looking good out here. Excuse me, sorry. Cars. Shooting the clone. Point blank.
But that happens. I know I reflexively shoot at it too, which I know is how you're supposed to not handle the situation, but sometimes you do it.
Sometimes it's better to shoot it in anti-flash instead of not shooting it and having it be a real Yoru.
Yeah, that is true.
Um,
It's better to take the risk.
Where is everyone?
Boom.
Okay, and we
Free
see the
neural
Cypher
theft.
come out from 6.
The hat did get destroyed, I think. No, it didn't. So it's going to allow 6 Seeks to walk in. Diabolic does find a later trade.
Last
And
player
takes out
standing.
Angela. Vanitas taking out Loftek as well, but now Diabolic is stuck in a 1v3 situation.
Wait, can you destroy Cypher ult
Yeah, you
if you
can.
do it before he does?
Well, it doesn't. It will still scan you, but if you destroy the hat, it scans you a second. Or it doesn't scan you a second.
Oh, that's actually fascinating. I did not know that.
Yes. But they didn't destroy it. So they got scanned 2 times. Pretty sure anyway. Cars saw a little bit
30
of Diabolic
seconds left.
there. 30 seconds left. Diabolic has a spike in his hands and needs to make something happen. Going grass, looking to maybe end B. Diabolic not clearing the right way. Boshi's going to
And
be able
that
to
gives
find that.
Boshi an easy pick out.
One more round, and the Knights are going to be able to tie things up. Vandals slowly losing their control that they had over this half. You're going to see a timeout come out from the Vandals because of it. I think this
And
is a
I think
better
they need
timeout
this.
to make.
They need the time to strategize. They need it.
Mhm.
They have
obviously because
lost their lead.
They're a round away from losing that lead they've worked so hard to maintain. That used to be pretty significant earlier on in the half, and now the Knights have been slowly clawing at their backs, trying to make something happen for themselves, and finding a lot of progress in that. The real question is, are they going to be able to finish that? Are they going to be able to tie things up, maybe making another 7-5 half, or are the Vandals going to be able to lock it in?
I mean, if the
think
Vandals do lock it in
depending-
and get an 8-4, I think that'll make the second half pretty much a lock-in. But now that I've said it, it's over. It's just over.
Yup. Vandals still having pretty good economy to play this half, and if they're able to take another round off of the Knights, should allow them a couple more as well. It's gonna force the Knights to force up by the time we get to round 12, but still be a decent time nonetheless.
I agree.
I'm gonna sneeze, I think.
Go ahead.
Boom, I didn't.
At you. I got you.
I caster's cursed my own sneeze. That's awesome.
Oh, it would be such a shame if I didn't get $1 million. That'd be the worst. Well, I didn't.
It's like, I'm gonna win the lottery.
Shadows traveling.
I tried, not happening. What a shame.
Vandals will split right now. Don't know where to take it just yet, but 16's taking quite a bit of damage off that shock card there. See the smoke coming out from the from Vanitas.
There they are.
Recon finding 6X, who been getting kind of unlucky getting caught out by this util. Now just gonna hold the wall, wait for somebody to push up. Not find anybody just yet. The Vandals still play almost the default, you know. The spike isn't
David
down
pulling out the
anywhere,
Omen
but
is a rare sight that I do enjoy.
do you see 6X prepared to go for this flank though?
Who's next?
Pretty much pushed up in C1 Cubby.
Being a
Some
little
G
damage
sees
on
Angela in the wall. Doesn't know they left though. Will waste a little bit of util. Find that out.
Time to jump.
Gate crash going in through sewer. Oh!
Game captain losing the trade
Okay, game,
against
you gotta
Tars.
hit those, man. You really do. Tar's gonna walk out of smoke here. Look to Diabolic, find the shots. David does
David
find the
gets
trade,
that
but a
and
little
gets
too
it.
late. Boshi
One
finds
enemy
1,
remaining.
2. Loftek does take out Angela. Now he's stuck in a 1v3, right?
30 seconds
With the
left.
other Cypher behind his back. This is not an enviable position, folks.
Well, he's gonna have to make something happen and fast. He can find a corpse, but
I
there are
don't think it'll
none
be
in
enough.
any good positions for him. Currently, he's trying to make his way up to heaven.
He only has 10 seconds left on the clock. He needs to kill
10 seconds
Vanitas,
left.
immediately grab that and start planting.
He's gonna find at least one, right?
One
Finds Vanitas.
Maybe it's going to
See
be, hey,
6X
we'll,
on that deep
we'll
flank,
take
but
as much as we can.
Yeah, but it's nice that he didn't fall here. You know, it's nice that he's still able to keep that gun up. Oh,
You had to say something, huh?
I lied.
You just had to say something, huh?
I lied. Ooh,
And if
that's
any of you
rough.
think caster cursing isn't real, example A, exhibit A.
I need a counter of how many times I've caster cursed this stream alone.
Yes.
Because I have caster cursed one too many times, and that's a little
bit of an issue.
that's a little embarrassing. I can't even lie, but it's 5-5 once again. Knights being able to tie things up, looking for an opportunity to move things a little bit forward, and
Tars
we're already
goes in,
gonna
takes
find
down
it.
some
Tars
cheese.
taking out some cheese off the bat. Gonna be a little bit of util they
The
can't use a little bit
Vandals'
later,
lead is completely gone.
and they honestly were gonna need that for a little bit later.
Take flight.
Elizabeth Mark. Yeah, it's Valorant time. You know what time it is? It's time for Valorant.
Vandal still a little nervous about how to play this. See, not having that information. Loftek is going to take out their information as well.
Here's triggered.
Allow the Vandals to at least push on, maybe get that spike
I
down.
know exactly
See Angela
where
going.
you are.
Game captain holding CT, actually hitting his shots this time. Very essential for him to be able to do that.
You are definitely not salty about that.
No, I'm not.
Planted.
I am pointing it out this time because being able to hit your shots in a situation like this, being able to turn the numbers back into your favor, that's so important. Right? Boom! See? Holding down elbow, being able to take that off of their hands, remove a little bit of ability out of the hands of Tars. Now it's up left to 6X and Vanitas, right? Who need to be able to push this, who need to be able to make something happen. After
6X
finding
then
that
takes that
tie,
top
we're
off
looking
the
to
floor.
find a lead. And they're not going to be able to. They have to back up. You know, they have to go for the save. Have to give the Vandals that round. Maybe some of them will go hunting for it, but I mean, at this point, it's not worth it. Now going into round 12, maybe we see a 7-5 in favor of the Vandals.
It is
I certainly
entirely
hope so.
possible. I mean, they do still have the op on the side of Queens, which has been historically a terrible,
Last
terrible thing to
round
deal with as
before
the
the switch.
Vandals.
That's true.
But as long as Tars doesn't get a easy double, and now that I've said it,
It's going to happen.
yeah,
Going to happen. Oh, no. You said it.
yes, I said
But
it.
now it's not going to happen.
No,
Because you said it. Because
that's not how that works.
No, the power of caster cursing has been put in my hands today.
Cutting through.
Today's
Again, can I get a tally of how many times I've caster cursed today? Because I'm sure it's at least more than 5. At least more than 5, right?
not today.
It
It hasn't been long enough today for you to be able to make that distinction.
just in this stream alone. Vandals pushing up. Lone not finding the trip. He hits it. Some cheese preparing that recon. Nope. Shark card. I lied. I mean, it doesn't look that different.
Say that. It is.
Well, in the silhouette, it doesn't. It looks like an arrow. See the breach ult coming out from the Vandals. 6X's going to be able to take out the lurking Loftek.
Traveling.
shouldn't be too detrimental, but still rough to not have those numbers when you're getting onto site. See the Hunter's Fury to lay the spike plant. Okay.
But some cheese is
Vanita's
saying, let's
just
do it.
staring. Oh! Bushi takes out David!
That is not good.
Unlucky. Game Captain being able to find that trade, but later traded out by Vanita's as well. Some cheese can't hit the shots. It's going to allow Knights to tie things up. In a half that's been pretty choppy from, I think, both sides. Right? Obviously, Vandals had hold a lead for quite a while, right?
Switching sides.
But Knights, you know, were still trying to pull things back. Even the rounds that they did win didn't look like the most confident of rounds. And, you know, being able to tie things up is great and all. Obviously, you can start from a quote-unquote fresh start into the second half. But maybe not. You know, things change in second half. Attitudes change about the way that the match is going, especially after that last round. And I'm hoping the Vandals don't take that too personally, hoping that they still keep the same attitude as they had during that 5-round snowball.
And something to keep in mind is that this is going slightly better than the previous map, where it was 7-5. We're now 6-6. It also make it a little bit easier for the Vandals to go ahead and keep things neutral, or maybe even slightly surgical ahead. There are plenty of opportunities to go down.
Game Captain 2 forward and can't hit his shots. Double swung. Did do his job. Beast, you know, did push up, tried to get at least one off. I think the idea was he was going to get one off and get the teleport. Tars pushed in, found his one, and traded out just a little bit too late. Angela Sky finding that nice right click. And now, once again, it's Loftek. Stuck in a clutch situation in a post plant. And you never really want to be in on a pistol. It sucks that Loftek has been the one in these situations as well, especially since in previous games, like, I don't feel like he's been performing strong enough to justify him being last alive.
It is done.
Okay. That was also just a
Boshi.
great shot. I can't even lie. That was just a really good shot.
Boshi's accuracy is otherworldly.
Yeah. I mean, look at a really nice +4 KD, 11.74. Not as strong as some cheeses, but no, I think actually stronger than some cheeses. I think the ratio's at least better. So, I don't know. I think those assists are doing them a little bit of justice, but even so. Obviously, Vandals having lost that pistol, that's not good, right? That already gives your opponents a pretty strong edge.
Yeah, that's exactly how they should feel, is that emote. Just,
8-7 is never a place you want to be, Game Captain. Pushed up and decides just to leave. Not wanting to risk it.
Risk it. Risk it. Let's
Come on. David! Looking the wrong way, and once again, the Knights are just going to decide to play it A.
It feels like
they
the
have the
Vandals
site
are
for
getting
free, completely
sloppy.
uncontested. And honestly, that's not crazy to say that. It's very much not crazy to say that, you know. I feel like their mental is very sensitive, and one bad thing can ruin their mood for an entire game. One bad round. And maybe it's a domino, right? It only hits one person at first.
And then everyone else gets the vibe of, oh, this player's frustrated, we'll do what we can. And they get frustrated.
Yeah, exactly.
And starts to tank from it too.
And that's just never a good thing. You know, that's never a situation that you want to be in. Tars taking out Diabolic from CT. You know, Game Captain tries to get some damage. Gonna try and die to the spike here. Boshi also dying to the spike. That's one gun off of the Knights that they can't bring into this next round.
I think it doesn't matter that much if
Well,
the Vandals get hit by the bomb, as long as they have a Ghost and a Classic.
Yes, and dying in a round like this is much better than saving. You get more money for dying.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's completely
there's
fair.
a death bonus. It's also that. Play off that. Yeah, no, I think I agree with your statement of the Vandals getting a little bit sloppy. Now, keep in mind, you know, there were a couple rounds that were just really unlucky. The rounds that Tars swung out of sewer and immediately got that pick on Loftek, right? You know, there's not a lot that you can do in that situation. There's no aim
you do what you can.
that can help you there. And, you know, playing a 4v5, especially in a situation without your Sentinel, bad. A little rough to deal with.
Because no matter what's going to happen, you are in the worst circumstances you can be.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, they have so much they can use against you.
Cover going
And
out.
with all that put together, it's not hard to understand exactly why you struggle.
Vandals, regardless, are still going to be
Spike
playing with their
planted.
lives here. Loftek does take out Vanitas on a very advantageous flank. Maybe looking for the other that was in garage and finding it. Six Seek's also down. Bush being caught out, but Angela going to find a late trade.
Found them.
They're not actually triggering the Yoru flow
Game
for once,
captain
but Game
taking out
Captain found
Boshi Tars for the trade. David seeing Tars up top. Angela finds it instead.
Enemy
Tars
remaining.
takes out some
Last
cheese.
player standing.
Diabolic finds the one, hits the flash. It's a 1v1. Breach versus Breach, and Diabolic,
Diabolic
is going to
comes
come out
out
on top.
Let's go!
A round well-deserved, well-needed by the Vandals. And even though they lost a bunch of players in that half, it should still allow them to at least find another.
Yeah.
Although, you know, the Knights played their save already. They're going to be trying to move up again. And might be a little harder for the Vandals to play that, having lost so many people last round. What I'm hoping is that the two, you know, regular Vandals and stuff that we do have,
They used very efficiently here.
yes, or get used effectively. I don't even care if they get used efficiently. I want them to be used effectively. I want them to actually find picks that allow them to get on the site, allow them to push forward and make bigger moves later on.
Which should definitely be the case here. They have the tools to do such.
One,
There we go.
game captain kind of revealed himself.
Maybe if
But
he
the
had a
real
little bit more discipline on that, he might have gone for a second, but we take the pick. We take the
Yes,
pick.
that's true. Again, I need these guns to be used effectively. Vandals need to be able to find picks to move themselves forward. And so far, you know, so in most situations where I've seen these kills actually need to count, they just don't. David. Send a couple shots from Six Seeks. He's going to move forward, maybe play into his cage, but Six Seeks in a lot of pressure, taking a little bit of damage there as well. Game captain going to be able to find Bushi staggering himself in C-Long. Some Cheese also taking out Six Seeks. It's just going to be Vanitas and Angela here.
Last
Trying to
player
get the
standing.
spike down. Loftek finds Vanitas and Angela.
An easy double for Flawless. Okay, the Vandals have tied
Tie
up
things
8-8.
up once
Their
again.
mental
a,
should be good to go.
a big round in this
They needed it.
situation.
They needed it.
Since, you know, Knights had to play up, had to buy up again. Having lost that round, they're going to have to save, won't have the firepower really necessary to make things happen. And I wish, you know, I could say maybe there's a chance of them finding a Thrifty. I know I could say that for the Vandals, but in the case of the Knights, usually
This goes
just doesn't
here.
seem like they're able to play off of their ecos effectively enough to be able to do that, right? You get a little bit damaged. Oh, never mind.
Tars
Tars
has
does
added
take out
down
Diabolic.
Diabolic.
Is going to push forward. Doesn't pick up a rifle. Out of the smoke. Some Cheese takes out Tars for the trade. Loftek takes out Six Seeks. Some Cheese takes out Boshi.
Spike down
A little bit of
B.
a shaky
Spike
match,
carrier
but
is
it's fine.
down.
But Spike is down, and the Vandals have possession. They're holding the Spike.
Last
Angela
player
trying to
standing.
push forward, but it's going to get bested by Some
Currently
Cheese.
dropping an easy 3K. Can he drop a 4?
Canada's taking his time. Taking a lot of damage as well. Some Cheese looking
Some
to
Cheese
push up and
getting
finding
the
himself
4K.
4.
Almost 2 flawless rounds in a row.
That is what you like to
We
see.
try the
Now-
same
Yes,
old
it
tricks.
is.
Again, I mean, like, it looked like for a second that Tars, or maybe more of the Knights, were going to be able to prove me wrong. Maybe Castrus curse me again. But
They would never do that.
They
Why
found
would they ever
one.
do that to you?
they found one, and they just couldn't get another. And in a situation where you have to save that hard, that aggressively, Vandals, they love that. They love
Yes.
being able to do that. They also probably love having this lead,
This is
right?
a nice
Being able to find 3 rounds over the Knights is 2. Being able to play a much stronger defense than they were able to last half, or last map, what I meant to say.
You'd be like, last half.
Loftek
What are you on
missing the
about?
recon. Hunters, Fury out. Loftek still
Loftek
finds
with
Tars
a
anyway.
massive snipe.
Through the cage, taking out Angela.
Loftek is done with his opponents. He is ready for this to be over.
David taking out Vanitas. Loftek has big, either is walling or has big game sense when it comes to shooting through the smoke. He just
Could be
always,
both.
he seems to know. Game captain finding Boshi trying to push
Down
long, and
A.
he's gonna say no. He's gonna reject that. Take that pick, very free. 6-6 has to push up. Still caught out by the recon. Some cheese is getting held anyway.
And some cheese wins those.
6-6 should have had that. Could have egoed it.
Something is changing about the way the Vandals are playing, and I want to know what has caused it.
I don't know. I do not know, but I do know. I like it a lot. I do, in fact, like it a lot. They're going to be moving forward, trying to play a little bit more aggressively. Now that they have that lead, pushing the Knights into deeper and deeper economical territory. They keep forcing up and having to save, and they're going to have to keep playing the cycle until they're able to make something work. We saw this literal same thing happen in the first half. That's how it ended up 5-2. David already proving me right, being able to take out Angela through that push. Char's able to get a little bit of damage. Gonna try and push it up, but doesn't find the finish. And then there's smoke now. So the Knights need to play this a little more aggressive, but not able to. Some cheese denying the push from Vanitas, taking out 6-6 as well. Loftek taking out Tars, and now it's just Boshi alone.
Seems like the
with
Queens
that
could
Sheriff
not
in
confirm
grass,
those
spike in his
kills.
hands. Looking for something, but feeling the pressure. Boshi able to take out David, but some cheese finding that trade for the 3K in this round. Able to confirm the 3-point lead against the Knights. Looking much stronger than they did in the last half, although I'm saying that a little bit too early because look at how things turned out in last half.
And
the
Tars
Knights
is
found
getting
two.
a timeout. They are not liking the way this is turning out from the Vandals' perspective.
Knights found 2, Vandals found 5. And it happened literally again. Not something that you'd really expect to happen on a Haven of all maps, especially when you consider, it's not fully a one-sided map, but it really does depend on the site that you're playing, right? I think that the comps that you typically play on Haven allow things to be less one-sided, but you also have that Yoru on the side of the Vandals that so far, Game Captain has been making way more impact with compared to Tars's Jet.
I agree. His dimensional drifts getting people's locations, his sniper callouts, the ability of doing gate crash for fake outs. He is using his utility as well as his gunplay to the highest potential he can to support his teammate.
And, so far, again, I'm not saying that he didn't find impact in Pearl as well, considering they almost brought it to overtime. The ult dump just ended up being really unlucky. 6-6 finding those last 2 picks way early into that ult dump. The Vandals, I mean,
they're doing what they can.
They're
doing
either
well.
certainly tiring out the Knights, who I believe it's about 10:50,
Yeah, it's 10:50. It's almost 11.
10:48 for them right now. They could be getting a little tired.
Just a little bit. And
For
especially
sure.
if they were practicing before this for however long, or whatever reason caused the delay, I would be getting tired of it.
Game Captain finding 6-6 trying to swing out
just
of
like happened
lobby,
before.
once again getting caught with his pants down. Some cheese also finding Tars in garage, and Bennett is caught by that spy cam. I mean, it's just pressure all across the board.
And I don't know if the Queens can deal with it right now.
I don't want to say anything too early just yet, but I mean,
Then don't say it.
the Knights
Don't say it.
might not be able
Shut
to
up.
bring this
Shut
back.
up. Shut up. You're gonna cast a curse.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't hate for them to try to, and I wouldn't hate for them to even have a fake comeback, right? If it ends up being a 13-11 in the favor of the Vandals, right, that's still fine with me.
They're not gonna.
I
They're
want
not
the
gonna clear
even
the corner.
competition.
They're not gonna clear the corner. He's missing his shots. He's trying to kill him with the secondary. It does not
Angela
work.
traded out by Diabolic. Some silly gunplay happening on the side of Game Captain, and David spamming through the smoke with that own and being able to take out Boshi.
Swapping to the
on
secondary and trying to jump through the smoke.
on
Kill.
the Knights force as well. That's so rough. They don't have the money to buy real rifles in this
And meanwhile,
round,
the Vandals
and it's
have-
match point for the Vandals.
Meanwhile, the Vandals have enough to put a down payment on a house.
I mean, it's looking like the 1930s over here for the Knights, and I don't think they're gonna live to see the end of it. Meanwhile, Vandals looking stronger than ever. I mean, I was kind of doubtful of them after last map. Again, 13-11, no score to scoff at, but I saw a lot of sloppy play. A lot of play that could have been tightened up, and Game Captain is certainly on it.
Take at the beginning of the map, round after round, and I have to say,
Definitely not where you want to be.
loving it.
Loftek in that smoke. Taking out Tars. Hunter's Fury taking out Boshi. Angela hitting the breach ult.
Bold spike plants.
Getting the spike down, but Game Captain being able to take out Angela. Vanita's getting pressured in sewers. Game Captain already on the defuse, and Loftek able to find that last. Allow the Vandals to get the defuse. Allow the series to be taken to a map 3. It's not over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, there's more Valorant to be played.
Now, it is currently 1-1. The Vandals struggled pretty significantly first map, and that means it is going to be Knight's choice of location. Whether or not...
No, the decider is picked after picks and bans.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, so it's ban, ban, pick, pick, ban, ban, and then whatever's left is the decider.
Oh, so there'll only be one map left as an option after
Yes.
the picks and bans. Okay. That could very well
Which-
determine who has the advantage here.
I don't know who it is. Watch it be Abyss.
Do you want... Abyss would be funny.
That's going to be a
You know, it'd be
huge
funny if it was split.
joke. I'm going to laugh.
I'm gonna guess
Oh!
it's... I was right!
It's split. Look at that,
I
my friends.
knew it. I knew it.
That's
I'm
wonderful.
just that good.
That's so wonderful to see. But I mean, let's talk last map already. I mean, we just finished it up. I don't think there's going to be too big of a break, if there is one at all. But Vandals played a much stronger map 2 than they did map 1, and usually we've seen them clutch when it counts the most. Last week or the week before last,
agree to
when we
disagree with
played
you for 1 point
Utica,
there.
we played map 2, and we finished 13-11 in their favor.
I have to clear some points for that. 1, yes, the Vandals did perform better on map 2. However, the beginning of second half was incredibly sloppy.
It was sloppy from both sides, if you really think about it. I mean, it wasn't the first 2, Pistol, you can't really judge that too hard, right? Obviously, Pistol kind of matters a little bit more in second half, but it matters way less if you finish first half 6-6, right? I don't like to
This is
say that
basically at the
Pistol is
beginning of the map, yeah.
really a thing that you can use to judge a team's skill. But it can mean something if a team is more rehearsed
Well, I'm not
in
even.
the middle
I'm
of
not
the map
even.
and the
I'm
pistol.
not just even referring to the pistol round. The first 3 rounds were incredibly suspicious.
Well, the first 3 rounds, Pistol, second round where they were forced to save, and then where they
And
clutch
then
back
first
up.
actual.
However, I will say I believe the play that kind of turned things around for the Vandals was Loftek in the 3rd round of second half being able to find that 3K
And then resetting the
completely
mental of
blind.
the, Yep.
That, I believe, just
unironically restored the vitality
I would
of
have
the
said that
team.
won the map for the Vandals, despite them not having the lead in that moment just yet. It would have been 8-7. Right, it would have been 8-7. And even though they didn't have the lead just yet, I think at that point they knew that turned things around, and we really saw that in the way that the Vandals played that.
They were more
Loftek-
cohesive as a unit. They were able to get those picks out from Game Captain. Everyone's entire morale was completely boosted back up.
And I think it's very evident to see that in the way of their gunplay and their 50-50s. Loftek, feeling much more confident in his lurks. I think
And
if
it clearly worked. It clearly worked.
there's a thing in theater that I heard about, right? When you're running choreography and you have to kind of trust your other acting mates to not hurt you if you're doing something like getting tossed out of a room or getting picked up. Any slight centimeter of unconfidence in that moment and
Can
everything falls
completely
apart.
make everything fall apart. Yep.
And that was a very similar situation for the Vandals. A slight hint of, I'm not sure if I can hit this. I'm not really sure where they are, so I don't really know
The
like,
slight
if I'm able
doubt
to fight
creeping
this,
into their
which-
minds after the first half. Yep.
And everything falls apart. And that was something that we really saw.
And then
in Pearl.
Loftek saw this and he says, "You know what? Let's just go ahead and do it anyway." And
And
then
I
he just did it.
I think Pearl was a really good example of what I'm talking about. There were a lot of situations, a lot of gunfights
Especially
where
from Diabolic.
it really couldn't have worked out in their favor. And, a lot of times it didn't just because they thought that. Right?
You could see the hesitancy in the way they were firing. People's shots were slow. Their reaction speeds weren't as good as they normally do. Their peaks were way too aggressive and last fast loose, as if I have to make the play now. It's the only way things will work, and then it just doesn't work anyway. Because that happened a lot with Diabolic when he was on defense, and it happened a lot to who was playing Vice on offense?
Some cheese.
Some Cheese was having that issue too.
And you know, I am like 89 to maybe 92% sure the Vandals could have taken map 2. I mean map 1.
Absolutely. It was incredibly close.
And it goes to show, just looking at the score, it was 13-11. Knights still took it over.
And
but
some of
they
those
had an
scores
opportunity to bring it in overtime.
And some of those rounds should have lost.
No, they really shouldn't have. They got either, maybe this is a little bit of copium speaking, but like I think there were a lot of situations that they got unlucky, but there were so many more situations that they just weren't confident enough in themselves to play these gunfights in a way that benefited them. And I think by the time that it got to map 2, either the Knights were falling apart or that third round
Vandals
in
were
second
getting
half,
the second wind. Yep.
Vandals, they were like, this is not over until we say it's over.
And we say it's going to be over map 3, beginning of phase 2, because we are going to sweep them.
Well, let's hope so. I know that Split is sometimes a map that we're bested on. Split was a map that we had an opportunity to win and take that team to a map 3. I believe that was versus Utica.
It was against Utica.
Another team from New York. You know, we were going to play Split. That
I wonder
also
where
ended
they like
11-13.
And I would love to get the regional geographic data of who likes which maps where based off where they're located. Yes, I think that'd be interesting study to find.
Well, I think a part of the results of that study would be culture, and if there's no interconnected like Valorant culture,
then it doesn't matter.
Like I'm from LA, does that mean I like Sunset? Hell no.
What do you mean? It's your favorite map?
I do not like Sunset.
Since Sunset's the best map,
and it's a great map for KO, which is my main character, and I do not like Sunset.
That's what I say to you in KO. But I am excited for us to get into map 3. I know there's a lot of hype going on. The Vandals have had their spirit restored, and we have support from the mighty Kiwi.
It's true, who joined us over the weekend to fill for the missing Loft Tech during the Big Sky Conference Championship. Although we did drop that, it was still nice to have her back in lab after so long. So, you know,
I agree.
Hello again. Now we're going into map 3 Split in the series. I believe week 4 now of ECAC regular season.
Tars is dropping the Jet and could potentially be picking. Oh, they do pick the Raze here.
Now Raze is much better for this.
Yes,
that's why you would play
but
Raze.
Also, if they land their ults with the same efficiencies they land Jet ults, I don't think we have to be worried.
Well, I will say
a little bit of shade, but
does take a lot less skill to hit a Raze ult.
Yeah, that is
unless if you're Sabrosa, who had an almost infinite curse where you just couldn't hit a Raze ult. Either got Ajaxed all the time or just biffed it completely. I remember one time I played Raze. It was on Fracture. I hit an ult point blank on an Omen and went right through his body. And I watched it with my own 2 eyes.
I will say this because Raze is my main. It feels like the rocket hitbox is not what it looks like visually. It is not the same thing.
No, I don't think so. But, no, it doesn't fully matter. I just walk it forward.
That just means the Vandals have a better chance of dodging the rocket. Easy peasy.
Beginning of map 3 Vandals, pulling out a very
look at the PNG of those rocks. It looks so good.
Comp. Breach, Viper, Raze, Omen, Sky. Not Breach, Tahoe, which I feel like I've seen a lot of teams play here.
Breach
is
Tahoe
very
goes
strong.
so well.
The Breach has been very strong on this map for forever. Right? Breach has always been very strong in this map.
Because there's so many walls for your util to go through. Boshi getting some G's out almost immediately as the round starts. 6 Eeks taking down Diabolic.
Those are very big picks to have so fast. But I was literally just going to talk about how useful Tahoe is for playing into flushing people out. You pull out. Okay.
Okay.
So
first round is definitely going into the round of, yeah. A flawless first round is not ideal.
What was that? Now, okay. I was gonna say that Tay was really good about, flushing characters out. I watched a video about Sentinel's Tejo breach play. I mean, along with the Yoru as well, but mostly the Tejo breach play and how they use the util together in order to find picks in mid when you're trying to flush someone out of vents, right? But that doesn't even matter here. For some reason, some cheese died off the bat in a situation I wasn't able to see. And then everything just clicked for the Knights, and they all hit their shots.
And then it got even worse.
They toggled. They toggled, guys. And Tars bought a
matter.
judge.
It's okay, we got it.
Second round. Vanitas.
Flawless.
Okay.
What is that?
That is Valorant. Why is this happening? Why? Explain to me, please.
So, looking a little bit like G2 versus Sen here.
Don't you dare invoke that evil name.
And, ooh, that was rough to watch happen. I don't know why it happened so fast. And I don't know why we just decided to swing. But you know what? Round's over. We're into round 3, baby. Into the Vandals force.
We'll take it.
Probably
we'll
feeling a little
past.
bit estranged by those last couple rounds that they just dropped. But I think feeling a little bit more secure about how they're going to play this now. See the salvo, one of them anyway.
Game captain barely even shooting. Calm down. Calm down.
We're moving forward. Rest of the night trying to move into heaven. Diabolic is forced to push out because of the util dump from the Knights. Knights still need to clear the rest of site. Oshi just hiding behind, waiting for any flankers, but not going to find any. They're not going through vents or going through spawn to play with the rest of their team. Decision I'm not fully sure if I agree with. Tars.
It's okay. Don't
I'm gonna
freak
push
out.
back a little bit, taking a little bit of damage to that shield. Off tech knowing at least where the Tejo was, some cheese as well, being able to find one of his own. Tars taking out David, but Diabolic and some cheese are able to push it up just a little bit.
Could be the round where the Vandals
Going
go
to
ahead and
flush
start their
in
spree.
to smoke.
I have the spike.
And being able to get on to the spike. Well, they have time to rotate. It's a 1v1 situation between some cheese and Vanitas here. 13 seconds left on the clock. He has to get down.
10 seconds left.
Come on,
Some cheese
you can
knows.
do this.
Already rotated.
Spike planted.
Fake. Oh, wait, no. You just switched perspective at the wrong time. That's fine.
Okay.
I was like, did we fake?
Diabolic.
Vanitas.
Please do not fall for this.
This is some cheese.
Sorry, some cheese. Please.
And that's noise
He's not looking. He's not
for
looking.
Vanitas.
He's not looking. He's
gonna
not looking.
tap.
He's not looking. He's not looking.
No, wait. It's all about Vanitas' timing here. Some cheese is gonna keep tapping. He's looking for heaven. He's gonna look around. And if he swings around pillar, he's gonna clear Vanitas. He doesn't know how to hold this. Some cheese!
Wait a minute,
Still able to get off the spike
folks.
and hit his shot. And that's going to be round 3 for the Vandals.
I'm sorry I doubted you, some cheese. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Now, once
You
again,
didn't deserve
it's
it.
I believe it's like round 3 in first half of last map where everybody died. One person was able to clutch things up, and now a bunch of people don't have money for guns this round. Meanwhile, the whole goal for the Knights was to be able to buy this round.
But they will not be allowed to do that.
But they're gonna buy. Meanwhile, Vandals need to find a thrifty here. Do they find it? I'm not sure. It really does depend on how this push goes.
If they do, they are going to be in a fantastic position.
Absolutely overload. Vanitas still behind his team. Rest of the Knights trying to move up. Tars.
Does Tars get picked here?
He finds at least one,
Doesn't
but
even
Tars
get
takes quite a bit of
covered.
damage.
That doesn't. Okay, but they do take
find
6.
6 Eeks.
I don't
Up in
like
the
that they're all
ropes.
in the exact same spot.
Oshi finding 2. Traded a little late. Now it's a 2v3 with Tars on the flank. David holding for it. It's a 2v2 now. And it is holding screens, and Angela, I don't look for anybody pushing through main. We're going to get smoke
Will they
on the
be
site.
able to keep it
Port's
on their
down.
side?
Vanidus. Know how to play this. David does take him out, but Angela's there for the trade.
Unfortunate.
If you see one of my creatures,
Another
it's a
round
good
one.
thing, all right?
I'm
But-
kind of salty that they're able to get the double off of ramp.
I mean, Vandals just aren't as locked in as I was honestly expecting them to be at this
It
point in
seems
the
like
series.
they're getting tired more than Queens is.
How
But I don't know if that is a
interesting.
distinction I am allowed to make.
I don't know. I want to see how things progress, but Vandals going to be able to buy pretty normal here.
I've
Now
got
looking
your
for an
trail.
opportunity to turn things into their favor. Some Cheese and Loctec both being able to find their own, and it seems like
And
I
it is
may be
their
proved
important
correct.
people too.
This Viper Orb is going to be down in a second, and 6 is trying to push up into it. David seen first. 140, but Diabolic there to swing off of him. Going to be able to
Take
rotate
these odds.
into heaven. Rest of the night, not exactly sure where anybody is.
Healing over
But
here.
right now, a 5v2 now. Diabolic holding
They
down
just
B.
Take your
A
time,
being
Vandals.
hold down by
This
who
is
Game
an
Captain? Yes,
easy
Game
round
Captain.
for you.
We slow it down, Angela, holding for someone who might be pushing through stairs. They would have found that kill on me by that point.
Hmm.
So
You've already been rushing them.
yeah, I'm really unlucky with timing. Timing just
Hmm.
is just built
Yeah,
into
that's
my
the
DNA.
reason.
30
Jeez.
seconds left.
Finding
One enemy remaining.
Angela,
Spike down mid.
regardless, throwing the Hawk out. Vanidus finding the trade, but hit by the breach stun. It's going to look for an opportunity to
Shadows
TP or maybe just smoke. He still has the spike.
His TP
But
will
he's
not
forced
be
out.
worth it here. He is hit there. He is surrounded. There's nowhere for him to go.
10 seconds
Going to
left.
hold the smoke. Can't really do anything. Doesn't have his ult though, but at this point doesn't
Wasting
have
down
time
a
to push
secondary
anywhere.
smoke, so people are too scared to try and hunt him down.
Honestly, wasn't worth using his ult this early in the half anyway. But here is something to note. Vandals were on a fourth that round. Vandals were on a force,
Help a girl out.
and
They are in a good position.
the Knights
for it.
were buying relatively comfortably. Now they're on a force. Never mind. They were on a save. I didn't know. I thought they were buying comfortable. I thought they were okay. But yeah, they did lose round 3, and then
Bandit is
we were looking for an
literally out
opportunity
of
to
money.
cushion themselves. But now they're broke. Broker than me. A little rough. A little rough to see, but it's fine. I imagine. Still looking for an opportunity to bring things into their favor. They need a thrifty, but once again, Knights have not proven to be too good about their thrifty rounds. Team captain spotted out, does find
Spike
Boshi,
down
but
mid.
not without being traded out by Angela.
Honestly, I am okay with that trade. I am okay with that trade.
Boom, some cheese, taking out cars. Hawk out, smokes down. Does see the
Seen
head of
for a
Angela,
glimpse for half a second.
but she's already halfway down sewer. Meanwhile, Vanidus does take out Loftek in vents. They have that having control. You see the cabbages coming out from some cheese. Gonna look to play off of him. Paranoia sent. Oh, never mind, it hits him. Some cheese is already in the cage, so it doesn't trigger. Wait for it to go down, never mind. He revealed his position by dogging. He's gonna get doubled up.
But
David
David
does
goes
take out
ahead and
Vanidus.
supports his ally.
6 taking advantage. He doesn't
One enemy
clear
remaining.
the corner. David takes out Trade. Spike's already down. David
'Kay.
takes out Sky.
Get the diffuse off, boys. And we have equalized the round of points. The Vandals are starting to build some momentum here.
Now, this next round is going to be incredibly important. Why? Not only have the Vandals tied it up, but that was a save round.
Yep.
For the Knights, who are looking to, obviously put something
It was
in their
a
hands
save
as
round,
well.
except for Vanidus, who was running the hero rifle.
Yeah, but I think they have the money to. Oh no, they did
No,
not have
he
the money.
had literally 0 afterwards.
Why are we not buying around our team? I wonder. May not be to the Knights' advantage. Vanidus having to buy Sheriff Light while the rest of his team buy rifles. So it's really going to be up to the Knights if they're going to be able to find the picks they need to make things happen. But he's hit. Many of the Knights are already hit by the trips. Got hit by the Skyhawk. Diabolic finding the one
Angela
on Angela.
already. They do know that there's a bunch of people towards A lobby.
Camera taken out.
Some cheese straying through the smoke. And a lot of damage on Tars there.
It looks like we
going
do
for the
have Rays
rotate.
going through sewers.
Tech. No, I accidentally called him Game Captain earlier because I thought Game Captain was just a permaduelist. But Tech's on the Rays today. Tars looking for vents. Saw somebody jump spotting. Tech takes out 6 Zeeks. For somebody else, we'll hear the salvos. Flush out. Game Captain is staring at the ground.
Not exactly
we
what
in
I would be
iron?
holding my crosshair, but you know, that's
She's
me.
taking his time, taking out Boshi. I love seeing like how some of these players evolve in practice. I can definitely tell that some of them have been putting the time in the build-ups. Are taking a little bit of damage from Diabolic and Dirt, but Knights have to spike down. And Bandit holding the smoke pretty in. Tech able to find that trade. It's just is now in heaven. They know they're all there. They have a big one that Diabolic can't avoid. That's going to be the round for the Knights.
Easy clutch. If they had been able to stop the plan in the first place, that might have resulted in 8 points for the Vandals, but that is not going to be happening this round.
Well, no, if they didn't get unluckily one-tapped.
Yeah, that's
Tars just found a crazy one-tap, and Diabolic just needed to make way more space for himself to avoid that raise ult. That's going to be a round for the Knights in one that honestly shouldn't have happened. Because what even is that? What even is that? And I'm sure that's what the Vandals are asking themselves now as they go into this next round. Tars throws a nade deep snake bite on standby by some cheese. See the Armageddon trying to clear out sight, but no one's on. What is up with this team and finding useless ults? I don't know. Diabolic taking out 6 Zeeks, Game Captain taking out Angela, and the rest of the Knights are falling one by one. Vanitas here holding Grant. Tars finds one. Tars finds another. Game Captain does take out Vanitas. It's Tars against the world right now. Does take out David. On pace for an ace. Healthy Diabolic. Gotta play careful. Taking some damage.
Game
Captain having to back up. Tars gets the spike down. Tap sight. Sees Tars. Tap spike once again and gonna commit, but forward.
And Game Captain is
Just
going for
where?
the long con.
Gonna hope that Tars pushes this.
Tars,
Gets a little bit of damage through the wall.
they're both incredibly
They're
low
both
right now.
A breath away from dying.
No!
But Tars
Tars
is
single-handedly
on the job.
won that round with an ace.
2 amazing clutch rounds back to back for Tars, putting the Knights in such a stronger position than we saw them before.
This is not looking good for the Vandals.
Tars is turned
Especially as
off.
they have to go for an eco round.
Tars is absolutely locked it in, my friends.
Yes, I agree.
And the Vandals, I mean, they're on a force there. They don't have a lot that they can do about that right now. They have 4 ults online, but still have to play a save. Have that hero rifle coming out from some cheese, but is he going to be able to do anything with it? His shots have been hitting,
I
but
mean, if they
there's
can
a
take
great
down-
chance that he becomes unlucky.
If they can take down Tears, I think this will become a significant easier, but that is a lot to ask for considering they do not know what to use that.
Double satchel on the site. Diabolic. Hearing one, holding for it. Job with his
Unfortunate
pants down.
timing as Tars gets a double.
Spike planted.
Unlucky timing. Tech looking to swing out.
Last
6
player
sees him,
standing.
finds the shots. Traded out by some cheese. It's all up to him.
Some cheese don't
Been
go
feeling
for
pretty strong this map, but like needs so much more to happen.
it. Don't go for
Flushed out by the Raise nade. Pressure is on. Oh, she's gonna be going for the chase. Won't have the space to get the spike defused. Pushed out by the salvo.
it.
Shots
And that
aren't hitting, and
recoil
Tars finds
goes
3.
awful.
finding so many important rounds back to back to back.
Now, if the Vandals somehow manage to pull the next 3 out of thin air, they will go ahead and even the round, but that does not look very plausible at the moment.
Why not?
They have 0 money. They can't even do full buys. They do have ultimates, but Tars is just running them down.
Only person who can't do a full buy is some cheese who bought last round. Everybody else saved. Has the money to buy util.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
They already bought it.
But
That's why their money's so low.
If
they lose this round,
if
then
they lose this round, they lose the next 2. They
lose
lose
this
they
round-
lose
they
this round
lose
and the
and
next,
lose the
and
next one.
maybe the next one after for the swap.
well, to be able to buy again.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
They save next round, which is probably what they're going to have to do. Loftic taking coming out. Does it hit anything?
He does
no.
not get anybody.
He's pushed up by the
I
salvo.
know exactly where.
And the raise nade, so a little bit of util spent flushing that.
But already they're on to points. They're getting ready to plant as we speak.
Satchel out.
Oh. Boshi taking
What
out
was-
Diabolic.
What was that?
What, the satchel? Ars holding Vance. Seeing Game Captain hitting the shot.
One
Some
enemy
cheese finding a
remaining.
late trade, but 6 Seeks being able to follow that up. David is just holding for Boshi now. Anti-flash swings off. David still hits
David
the shots.
wins those?
No, he doesn't, my
Yikes.
friend. Opportunity to tie the half is now dead, but Vandals still have an opportunity to make things work. As we saw in map 1, they lost their force, they got a thrifty, and got the last round. We're able to finish off the first half 5-7. But does it happen this time around? I mean, Tars has been so on their game.
You
I
are,
mean, and that goes to
no,
show
no
just,
offense. You are speaking so much scope right now.
I'm not, though.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
saying
are.
I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I'm saying that it's still possible.
It is indeed possible, but you're asking for a thrifty, me after losing everything, against Tarz's team that has 3 ults available at the moment, being
We
Omen,
also have 3.
Raze, and are they the same ones? No, we do have Breach ult,
Mhm.
which
The Vandals also
might
have 3.
make a difference.
Sure, they got to buy down a little bit this round, but they've done it before.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
No, that
it's
they lose the
not
map, yes, but not
likely.
because of that round. Let me tell you, not because of that round.
I don't think it's likely, but I will not shatter your belief.
Well, it wasn't likely last time either. It's not likely this time, but I'm rooting for that non-zero chance because obviously there's a non-zero chance that this works out for the Vandals. Now, keep in mind, there's a little bit of rainy day there for the Knights. They have a little bit of money backed up. Not too much. Some of them might not be able to buy on a couple rounds if they drop this one. Vandals locking
I
it
mean,
in.
this is going to be the
holding
one that
defense.
determines how this is going to go. The Vandals will maybe have to have a flawless offense to be able to get the game back into their favor.
Possibly. I know exactly what happened the first time around. You might know how to turn it around this time. Gamble.
I've got your trail.
Like it might be correct, seeing the cabbages come out. Oh no! Some cheese finding 2 after being hit by the cabbage.
Seek them out.
Third. Some cheese sending out his own cabbages. 6 Seeks. Getting pretty
Okay, and we have a
on.
massive flank coming in from behind. Can we see if it will make a difference?
Already having 2 off the board. But
Oh,
the
they were
Omen
already planning
ult
on
allowed them to
B.
teleport to B. They have no idea everybody's already on the other side of the map. As long as Angela can find one. Will they?
I don't think they will.
It might be a little
Now
late
can
to the
Vanadis
job.
find one?
No,
No, they
some
cannot.
cheese for
Go
3.
straight for the defuse.
Dog out. 6 Seeks in heaven. They can't do that just yet. One has to protect, and they don't know where the other 2 are. Angela and 6 Seeks playing together here. On tap, pressure on the board. 6 Seeks. Find him.
One enemy remaining.
Angela. It's all up to Game Captain. And they can't find the shots.
As Angela gets an easy triple.
So
Last
close
round
for
in
the
the half.
Vandals.
Last round before the swap. And it is 3-8. Best odds 4-8 after this round.
I mean, it's It's real rough. It's real rough, Overlord. I mean, we have the money to buy up here, right? But
Barely.
do we?
Very barely.
I mean, if you look at how both teams are playing, it seems like some players are definitely a little tired. You know, you have some players on the side of the Knights, 3 to be exact, who aren't even in double digits, but in the case of the Vandals, that's 2.
Yep, and
Knights have
honestly,
one more player that's doing the work. And
I think you're right about having the person who hits peak hours, because Terrace is absolutely ready to tear up all the earth around him.
Hoshi taking out Game Captain. Hyperbolic there for the
Spike
trade and able to back it out. Loftek able to take out 6 as well. That's a 3v3. Hyperbolic getting a
We
reheal
like the healing.
from some cheese. The breach on. Bot sent out.
And it loads upon himself.
Vanitas taking out some cheese. Car's able to swing, but Diabolic gets the better of him. Vanitas takes out Loftek. He's able to hold, but for how long? Hit by the Hawk. He gets at least half. Does he stick? He doesn't. Diabolic finds his 1.
He
And
finds
the
his
other!
4.
4K! To clutch the round up, get the
Okay.
defuse. That's 4-8 for the
You
Vandals.
know what? You know what? It could be worse.
A round
It could be
very
worse.
long overdue.
Switching sides.
But now we go to the other half. The Vandals have a Herculean task ahead of them.
That is true. I mean, need
They have to win
to at least
9.
tie it up.
Yeah, they need to win 9 if they want to win.
I mean, it's a lot easier to say that, you know, the Knights are much closer to taking this map. They don't need that much more ground to cover to do so. And if Tars keeps playing the same way that he was in first half, it might just happen. Now, again, there's a little bit of a mojo reset, a little bit of mental. You know, there were a lot of lucky rounds that Tars had found that really made the difference, particularly round 4 and round 5, right?
Yeah. The double
but-
satchel charge right into a double kill made it so impossible for the Vandals to defend.
But almost impossible kills from the Tars Ace to the
No one's
4K
watching
that
B.
really made the difference against the Vandals. Allowed the Knights to find so many more opportunities to continue taking them while they're down, right? Issue is Vandals are not fully
Start
forgotten.
planting. There we go.
Spike down, a little bit of damage on the Diabolic.
Spike
Angela
planted.
there for the heals. Loftek takes out Boshi, but Tars is there for the trade. Vanitas takes out David. It's the last 2. Maybe a third. Diabolic taking so
One
much damage.
enemy
Some cheese
remaining.
there for the trade. Game Captain there on the flank. Sees Seeks, but he's pinched. Can't do it. Runs out of bullets,
Does
and that's
not
going to be
have
the
enough in
round
his
already.
magazine.
4-9 now, and the gap is widening further and further for the Knights in this map 3. Some cheese on his game, but unfortunately not as much as he really could be. And the rest of his team really falling behind to support him.
And I just don't know what they're supposed to do at this point.
I mean, there's not a lot that you can do. I mean, you're going to get in your head after, you know, they find so many rounds that, you know, really, I can't say you shouldn't have lost because there wasn't really a lot that you could have done about it, right? 6-6, holding the smoke. I mean, honestly, you got to think about second round as well. Someone immediately got picked off by Tars with Judge, and then Vanitas found himself 4. I mean, they just made an absolute mockery of the Vandals. And, oh, they're really feeling the effects of it. They're feeling bullied. Canada's finding 2 there.
Oh no.
Game Captain finding a
Spike
late
down
trade.
mid.
David,
Last player standing.
once
I mean,
again.
at least they got 2, but
a less
to
than
10.
fortunate showing for the
I agree.
Vandals.
the Vandals finally have enough for a bye.
That is true, because that is how that works. Be buying up this round. Meanwhile, rest of the Knights are going to be playing on their bonus. A couple did drop, so won't have as much to play with here, but will it really matter? Seems like in most situations, Knights have been proving that it doesn't. But it's very rough to say this early. Loftek being able to double satchel in, find his 1, get some damage on the Vanitas, but not able to finish the job. Gets the heal from Angela. around the cover. Shots fired in main. Boshi sprayed through the smoke. Kind of in a bad position. That's his fault. Team captain still getting hit by the dog. All you really have to do is breathe. Sick and walking headshot. 6 eats. Taking out game captain from the flank.
Spike planted.
While the Vandals are able to get the spike down, it's gonna be a surmountable climb, and some cheese does find Angela through the smoke. 3v2 now for the Vandals.
We do have the Omen ult available. They could maybe try and go for TP play. I don't think it'll be worth it here, though.
No, probably not.
Last player standing.
She's taking out 6 from the flank, and that's 6. That's Vanitas. Down to some cheese for the 3K. At a 5-point gap. That one round could make all the difference, but this round will too. Round 4 of the second half that we've seen be an incredibly important round in the last half. In previous maps, I believe Pearl as well. Whoever really takes this map is... Well, sorry, whoever takes this round
It's
could
a huge
have-
advantage feeding into the closing of the map.
could have a big advantage into finishing this map out in their favor. But, you know, sometimes things can happen. I don't know yet. Six Seeks, holding cam for mid. See the bodies just yet. Then sees them. And she's gonna back up. 6 Eeks holding the buggy. They're not gonna
Cage
the corner.
triggered.
Fight bets. 6 Seeks sees the body, and I think some cheese may have as well. He should know he's playing in the cage. Loftek finds a very important pick on Boshi. 6 Seeks hit by the util, sprayed through the smoke. Flashed or flushed out by the util. Pretty much exactly how you play that. Canada is sneaking away. A bit too late from the Hawk. Ours does find game captain though. Need to delay the push from David. But David is still able to find it. That's a 4v2. Sorry, I looked at the numbers wrong, but that's a 4v2 now. Favor of the Vandals looking to get things on. Diabolics to get that
Player
spike down. Some
standing.
cheese takes out Vanitas as he's trying to move down ramp. It's all up to Angela holding screens.
And she is currently limited on her options. She is out of util. She's out of options. She's hopefully soon going to be out of bullets.
Gonna have to save there. Doesn't have the money to really support herself in this situation. That's gonna be round 4 of second half given to the Vandals. A really messy showing from the Knights, you know? We're looking way stronger than the first half. Obviously found so many essential rounds, but Vandals actually taking a lot of the better. I don't really know if this map is one-sided, but definitely kind of looks like it, at least right now. Angela, take one. David finding in a trade. 3 for the round, money for the round. But what else will it bring them? Obviously, Knights are forced into another save round. 4-point gap there. Really all going to be about what Tars can find with this judge.
The Vandals are proving that they can fight back here. They just need to keep going strong.
In round 2, Tars did buy up pretty hard with that judge, and it was pretty big. Now, Vanitas also found himself 4K because he was alone in sewer,
I've got your
and
trail.
everybody went sewer. We found a few easy ones there. Loftek hit by the paranoia. Vanitas able to find out, but not able to push for the rifle. Captain holding for elbow, keeping his composure. David takes out 6 from Heaven. Vanitas flicks to his head. David for the trade. Some cheese.
Player
Tars.
standing.
Diabolic able to find that late trade. It's just Boshi here with the classic in main. Sorry, he has a Bucky. Going for the rats. I'm going to push him. He does find it. One pumped on the Sun Cheese, but it is still going to allow Diabolic the spike.
Spike planted.
He has the rifle, but so does Boshi. Salvo's at the wrong spot. Doesn't know where he is. Hearing he's gonna drop. He sees the body of Diabolic. Doesn't know how to play it just yet. Diabolic has gotten really unlucky about these. He has to push back. Gonna hold for elbow as he moves back. Flash out, swings, and hits it. Diabolic for the clutch.
Making it
Closes the gap
closer and closer
more
and closer.
and more.
Making it 7-10. Not quite the 5-point lead they had earlier, but slowly overcoming the difference.
We had timeout coming out of the Knights, who are coming off of their save round, looking to make things a little more in their favor, but not exactly sure how. I feel like that's a question that they're seriously considering asking themselves as they go into this timeout. You know, they've been losing a lot of rounds. And again, as I said earlier, not looking as strong as they were in first half. Weren't able to play their defense as well as their offense. And Split is very much not an attacker-sided map. Well, okay. Debatable, but I don't really think so. You know, I think for the most part, if you're playing it right, it's defender-sided. Or more favored towards the defenders anyway. And
having the longer line of sight control, especially towards B and A, is fantastic. Middle map, not quite so much, but
also considering how little rounds that the Vandals have found in the first half, being able to play that offense as strong as they are right now is pretty good.
I would agree.
Let's know.
I just want to see how this turns out.
Vandals are going for a full buy, normal, full shields and everything.
The pep talk is over. Let's see how this turns out, ladies and gentlemen.
But the first pick here will make or break how this round goes for either team.
Toxin screen
Captain
down.
trying to move up through this smoke. Any lurk kills, 6-6 holding it. Some footstep. Vandals are going for a quick push. That's all of heaven, pretty much. Information for 6-6 is also hit by the snake bite.
Cage trigger.
See the Tejo ult to delay the plan. Loftek able to find Vanitas. Game captain able to find 6-6. A very big pick. And Tars, who tries to swing off the boom bomb. Loftek takes out Boshi. Angela able to take out some cheese. The rest of the Vandals are coming from heaven.
And the Vandals have access to the spike.
They've got nothing. Loftek swings here and hits.
What is going on? How are the Vandals bringing this back?
I thought it's not like having been here for this long.
I agree.
Oh, we're going.
My buddy doesn't like me being here for this long.
We are still going. Vandals slowly bringing this back after a very rough first half. Now showing them how they got to this map 3 in the first place.
It's 8-10.
Vandals have a lot to prove here. 2 points away from tying things up.
The Vandals could theoretically finish this on offense if they continue their flawless performance.
However, considering that the Vandals are pretty much on a normal buy and the Knights have to save again, could be really bad. Whoa,
he messed up his satchel charge.
I didn't see it.
We don't talk about it.
See this? See the Razor also coming out. Game captain finding Tars in main. Big trade. Both raises down. Are the Vandals? Grab the sky, sit in the sky heals, get the heals and leave. 6-6 here for the flank. Finds the one, gets the second. David there for the late trade. Needs one more to balance out the numbers. Will they find it? Seems like David and Game Captain are just going to try and make their way back over to B. The only thing they really have is the snake pit. Would actually be a good round to use it. As long as you're able to get a pick off. If you get the spike down, get a pick, that's going to be big for you. Or just pop it here, which I don't hate either. Again,
yeah.
It's a big round to hit it.
They need to secure every single point they can get.
15 seconds. Spike needs to go down. And is David getting that plant down? Salvo's already used. Tejo doesn't have that ult.
Spike planted.
Roshi playing outside of the snake pit. Now the Knights are forced to play into the Vandals. David taking out Vanitas.
One enemy remaining.
Angela finding a late trade.
Player
Game
standing.
captain taking out Boshi. It's a
Game
1v1
captain
now.
Versus
Angela!
And Angela wins the trade.
Oh, a round
8-11.
that was right there. So much damage on her, but not enough. 8-11 now. And the Knights still fighting to keep things alive.
Don't sit down. We're not done yet.
Not too many stakes on the board, but even still, I would imagine either team would like to go home feeling good about this win, this very hard-fought win.
I mean, it's almost midnight for Queens right now.
That is true.
I am sure they're ready to have this be over and get ready for bed.
I think that ends up working the way I think it is. Maybe the Vandals have an option here. Maybe they have a shot at making something work. Don't have too many ults on the board right now. Of does see Loft Tech is delayed to swing back out and is smoked off. The Boombot is going to come bot. They're going to have to play into the dog. Loft Tech moving up into heaven. Ours holding deep in vents. Vanita's taking off Game Captain. A very important pick to have so early. Or is maybe looking to push into the flank. Diabolic does fall to it. David finding that late trade.
Last player standing.
Oh, 6 Seeks and
Oh,
Angela
no.
finding theirs. Vanitas teleporting around them. Just so much pressure on the David.
It is match point, folks.
Match point.
The Vandals have to
One
play
more. Then first
flawlessly.
shots on me.
Otherwise, the Night Queens, the Queens,
Knights.
the Queens Knights.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just the Knights. Look, I was trying to find a cool way to do it. The Queens team will go ahead and secure the game. So Vandals, don't mess this up.
Hawk out. Blind.
Cars
Car,
falling the Loft
okay.
Tech. Boshi there for the trade. A little bit of damage going on the screens. Boshi holding for some cheese. Doesn't find it. Angela there for the trade.
Trade after trade after trade.
So much damage.
Game captain is
And
super
no
low,
heals
and
for the
so is
Vandals.
David.
This could end very fast.
Honestly,
Vandals know they have to play
use
this
the
careful.
Cypher ult, and I think they win. But he's so far removed from the combat, I don't even think he can if you want it.
David. Having to do something. Rest of the Vandals don't really know how to play this. They're so low.
David went ahead and now has access to his ultimate if he needs to. Which, honestly, they might try and force something out A here, have him teleport to B, and try and take down who he can.
It's true. Maybe they're baiting for a rotate. Did see Angela and
30
Veritas
seconds left.
try to move. Do the Omen ult. Looking for information past the Viper wall. David has to play this a little aggressive. 20 seconds left on the clock. So much has to happen in so little time.
15 seconds left on the clock. They're
David
running for
teleports.
it.
Veritas.
Enemy remaining.
Vanitas finds two. It's
Strike down
just
A. 10 seconds
David.
I have the spike.
And
Who
that
can't find
is
it?
it.
3K to end off the game for the Knights.
Can't stop here.
For the
Wishing
Knights
them a very
Knights.
late good night. Oh
Yeah.
dear, it's so late over there.
Thank you, Dr. Crazy42, and thank you, Spicy Noobs, for the follow. We hope you guys enjoyed it. That
Devastating
was
loss for the
rough.
Vandals, who, I mean, you can even see on the player cams, are just
They're
a strange. They have
so
no
rough.
idea how to get past that. There were
They
again
they
so
saw
many
victory.
rounds.
They saw it.
There were so many rounds that were favored for the Vandals, or not even favored for the Vandals, that just ended up being so unlucky for them.
They got
that-
time diffed repeated, time diffed, swung diff every single time. And at that point, you just have to say, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
It's very tragic to see. Definitely was rooting for him, as you could probably tell. Vandals, I mean, again, certainly had it in the bag. They held a very close competition, but I think in a lot of the micro moments that really counted, they just weren't able to get it done. Knights very often were able to put themselves in a better position for certain gunfights that they could just, again, get it done. They could get the job done. They could win their 50-50s. They can hit
And
their
then it
shots
just-
when they need to. And
And then
the
they
Vandals
cracked
just
under pressure.
the Vandals just could not figure out how to finish things out. And honestly, by the time they, got to the Knights' map point, I think it was already over for them at that
Yeah,
point.
they had already, I feel, given up. Which is sad to say, considering map 1 was really close. Map 2 was also pretty close, but on the
Mhm.
opposite end that the Vandals were favored. And then map 3, everyone was getting cookered out except for Terrace. And he just carried the
Tars,
entire
really just
offensive phase. He carried the
could-
entire of it.
Tars just could not slow
Man
down.
dropped 28.
I
And that
he
was just the
looked
offensive
so strong
phase.
on the servers tonight.
Yeah,
And again,
mad respect to him.
not too much the Vandals could have done. That's 1-3 for the win-loss for the season so far, and I'm concerned that the Vandals might not be able to come
following
back
pattern.
for this. It's not looking too good. They keep ending up in situations in map 3 series that they just cannot close out. And hopefully they're able to finish out this season positive. I'm keeping my hopes high.
There's
but
still plenty of
there's
time
only
left
really
in the
so much
season.
copium I can huff.
You admitted copium. I was waiting for it.
No, that last comment was copium.
Uh-huh.
They're negative in the season overall. Will they be able to come back?
Mhm.
No idea. It's really tough to say. But there's still a lot more time in the season left.
That is true.
We'll kind of just have to see how things turn out.
And if you guys want to get the results of that, you should be a part of the journey. And
Yes.
Find it out along the way.
If you
with
aren't
us.
already, please do follow the UIdaho Esports Twitch channel. It's free, and if you hate us, you can turn off our notifications so you never have to miss it, or you never have to see a stream ever. But if you do like us, you can also join our Discord, which you can find !Discord. You can meet us. You can meet other fellow friends and fans of your favorite esports titles, and you can learn how to get involved with the Vandal Esports program. If you're feeling generous, or you have a free Prime sub lying around, you can also subscribe. You get a fun badge next to your name. You get some emotes to use in chat.
and you
and
can support a
get to-
really cool movement.
Yeah, a grassroots collegiate esports community, which I think is pretty cool. I was trying to make sure I said that right, which I think I did. I'm a little out of it.
But
Until next time, my name is Kaz. I was joined here by the Overlord, and we will see you tomorrow for some Rocket League on the main channel and some Counter-Strike on the second channel. See
have
you
a
then.
lovely night.